think we can all agree that this has gotten a little bit big and a little bit much, so now here I am.
I've been living in fear that Anna would make another video about me.
When I say I grew up broke, that is my experience, that is how I felt.
This is dystopian and out of touch. Anna is preying on the vulnerability and desperation of impressionable young fans for her profit under the disguise of self-love, empowerment, and giving back.
Social media is fake. It is not real. Instagram, it's all fake, and it can be faked.
I truly believe that I would never become free of my Stockholm, if you will, type relationship with these people.
If I made a video addressing every time anyone said anything bad about me, I would be posting all day long, every single day.
Her entire persona on TikTok wasn't her real persona.
Anna Paul's image of body positive is all fake. That she met fans, she would comment on their weight. It's been reported that she earns around £220,000 per month just off her OnlyFans. This woman is rich. You know what I'm saying?
There was also a heap of criminal offences that were thrusted upon Addis.
Texting my friend I need to get the out of here. Addis is using me. I need to get the out.
And Anna has brought this predator around underage kids at her event.
All around the world, top influencers are getting paid for their likable personalities.
Whenever you see my new car in public, I want you to draw on it. I wrote this, it's a good day to have a good day. Because I'm the best daughter ever. I got us all business class seats. You happy, Mama? Yeah. And then we went to Sephora and I told my mama she can have whatever she wants. I always tell her she can have whatever she wants. It's Michaela's birthday. I'm gonna buy her a bunch of stuff. Now when they come home tomorrow, she'll come home to this.
But what if I told you for many of these influencers, much of their online personality is essentially a lie?
These people that watch her don't know the Anna that I know. They know the other Anna, the one she wears when the camera starts rolling. I can't blame the parasocials because I too would do the same for someone that I looked up to. But my experience with Anna was a lot different to all of you. Mine was a real experience.
Shirt aged poorly. The shirt says, "It's not manipulative if you believe me." Anna Paul has become one of the most popular Australian influencers, known throughout the world predominantly through the platform TikTok, amassing 6 million followers on TikTok and 2 million followers on Instagram. Anna Paul was known as the friendly, kind, and nice influencer. Yet this year, it was exposed that much of Anna Paul's online personality was a complete lie.
With more than 1 million followers across her social media platforms, our next guest has become one of Australia's most popular influencers.
She's not a girl's girl, she is not body positive, and she's not a genuinely kind person. She is, however, very smart, very cunning, very calculated.
Anna Paul pretended to be a nice person to the camera, but the real Anna Paul was something much darker and disturbing.
Seeing your fakeness in the flesh was such a disturbing experience. Your fans mean nothing to you. Watching you be praised online for being kind and caring, but behind the facade lived an evil person.
Underneath Anna's positive online veneer, there's been claims that she was promoting adult content to her young following, hiding her brother's R-word allegations, being a general mean girl behind the scenes to her friends and family members. And one of the most shocking but underreported claims of all to me personally was the claim that her family neglected Aboriginal foster children while living a luxurious lifestyle on social media. I truly mean this when I say that the story of Anna Paul and her family are some of the most disgusting claims I've ever heard when it comes to influencer greed and just horrific actions in general. And the truth would eventually come out. Once the true nature came out, cracks in Anna Paul's persona completely shattered, revealing her true nature to the public.
You could be another content creator for 24 hours. Who would it be? Someone who's super rich. Super rich.
The baby sweet girl act is officially dead. This is the disturbing story of the influencer Anna Paul, the second Paul family on the internet, and the internet's biggest creeps. This story also completely exposes the dark underbelly of OnlyFans and what happens when one internet celebrity has too much power over their young and naive following and friends.
I love how you let me take photos of you so you can sell them to other boys so you can buy me cookies.
Prepare to be shocked. This story also has many elements that may be triggering for some, including abuse, Addis, SA. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi friends and internet acquaintances, welcome back to another video on my channel covering controversial internet figures. If you like those sorts of videos, don't forget to subscribe, and if you like this video, then give it a like if you want to. On the last video covering Piper Raquel, I mentioned that I might be starting some sort of subreddit where we can talk about social media exploitation, and I did that. So if you want to post about social media exploitation that you see happening in the world and online, then go to r/exploitationexposed. If you're curious what my next video topic's going to be, I've been leaving comments down below about the next video topic so that I can hear your suggestions and input, which has been so helpful. Thank you so much to everyone who's been commenting and giving helpful input for the next video topic.
A huge topic of this video is what happens when an influencer lies to their audience, building a deeply parasocial relationship with them off of a false online identity, and then sells shady businesses to their young and naive audience who is parasocially intertwined with them. This is why online security and online discernment is incredibly important, and why this video's sponsor is Aura. The other day, I embarrassingly, but as one does, Googled my own name, and was horrified to find that there was a site that essentially doxed some of my information. Ever since I've had a child, I've been horrified of people being able to know sensitive information about me and my family. I hadn't really Googled myself in a while because it gives me the scaries, but when I did and I found that information out, I knew I needed to do something. Nowadays, it feels like you can pretty much Google anyone and anything and find all sorts of private information. These sites are run by data brokers who collect your personal information, package it up, and sell it to anyone who wants it. And usually, scammers and spammers want it. These people are virtually printing money, and it's completely illegal in America. Brokers are legally required to remove your information if you ask them to, but they also make it incredibly hard for you to go through all of the steps to remove your information. Or you can do what I did when I found my information online recently and use Aura, the sponsor of this video. Aura identifies data brokers exposing your information and submits opt-out requests on your behalf. Give Aura a few weeks and you'll stop seeing your information on these sketchy sites when you search yourself. Aura will also continually monitor the web, the dark web, and alert me if they find my personal information has been exposed. They'll also alert you very quickly if they find that someone has tried to use this information to access your credit card or bank accounts. With online scams, identity theft on the rise, I feel like this is an essential part. This is becoming more important every day. Plus, Aura gives up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, should the worst case scenario happen. They also have a world-class VPN so you can browse and shop safely from any location you choose. Does your current VPN have all of these other features? Probably not. You can go to my link at aura.com/CWHM so you can try 14 days for free. That'll be enough time for Aura to identify which data brokers are selling your information and start submitting opt-out requests on your behalf. And thank you so much to Aura for sponsoring this video.
And now let's discuss Anna Paul.
Many people watch a movie and know that what's happening in a movie is completely fake. It's all manufactured for your entertainment. But when it comes to social media, somehow that distinction is completely lost. People forget that social media is often fake and staged, that everything can be manufactured all to create an image or a brand.
Just to show you, social media is fake. It is not real. Instagram, it's all fake, and it can be fake.
And the same can be said for the personalities that an influencer showcases. The same way that an actor can put on a fake persona for the big screen, an influencer can put on a fake personality for the camera. Anna Paul's online persona became known as a family-friendly, nice person.
Here's $1,000 and some baby formula. I'm gonna put money into this baby formula. Put it on top like this. When she gets home to open it, it'll look like that. I hope that they see this. I hope that will work.
The next one, look at that. Like that.
Oh, we've been spotted. Someone just screamed. You know what? This is so easy. You can just open it like that.
Yeah.
And then the boy mum will get $100. And her little baby gets $100.
The whinging boy.
She gained the trust of her audience through this online personality, and then she abused this trust. So how did Anna Paul come upon such a trusted and positive online reputation? All simply through the things she posted online and from people who had never met her in person.
I know that the people who support me really support me. So I know, like, if they trust me, and I know that I can bring something really, I can bring out something really, really good that they trust. So in that way, I knew that the people who support me really support me and have my back, but I didn't expect it to be this insane. Like, you can't expect something like this.
Anna had first posted onto Instagram in December of 2012, long before she became an influencer. She was only 13 years old and started using social media like every other teenager at the time to document her mundane daily happenings. Anna first launched her YouTube channel on February 1st of 2018. She would post the usual YouTuber content with her friends and her brother Addis Paul.
That stinks.
I don't want to.
That stinks. Ready? Ready? Smell the bag.
I'm not doing it.
No, you smell the bag.
I'm smelling this. It smells like nothing.
We both smell the bag.
That smells disgusting.
Oh, yeah. It smells like off. Like,
And only 1 year later, Anna had her YouTube play button and a pretty large subscriber base. According to Redditors, when Anna Paul first started her YouTube channel, she also had an exclusive Patreon, where she would post exclusive content that you could subscribe to view. Essentially, an earlier but more tame version of OnlyFans. The problem? She was 15 years old at the time when she allegedly started doing this. While all content of Anna Paul talking about her Patreon has been wiped from YouTube, Redditors have claimed that she used to promote this on her YouTube videos and that her mother was the main person who encouraged her to do this. She used to have a Patreon in her YouTube days, and she was 15 to 17 doing bikini pics on the paid Patreon platform, and she would say her mom encouraged her to do it too. But if you go looking for Anna Paul's old YouTube content, you'll find her YouTube channel completely wiped from the internet. Today, Anna's YouTube channel is nowhere to be found. There's been speculation that she deleted her YouTube channel among all of these recent controversies to avoid any of her old videos resurfacing. One must wonder what kind of content her old YouTube channel had on it. Though Anna Paul gained her initial following through YouTube, much of her internet virality occurred through TikTok.
No, but I'm on my phone, and I've been obsessed with TikTok, right? Because, you know, Musical.ly, right? TikTok like bought Musical.ly, and now the name's like called TikTok now, and I'm like obsessed with it because there's so many like weird videos on there. I just watch them, like literally I lay in bed and I like watch them for like hours.
Anna herself claimed that her very first viral video was a TikTok of her filming her laundry shoot in her bedroom. It was weird, but that was when I was like, oh wow, this could be something. The video itself would end up getting deleted when her first TikTok account got deleted, but a few years later, Anna would film another video supposedly doing her laundry for the first time.
So I'm 21 years old and I did the laundry for the first time in my life today because my mama used to always do it for me.
In an interview with the Australian fashion journal, Anna Paul claims that her following began during COVID. I've always been online. I even used to stream live on Twitch. And then during COVID, I started vlogging my life, just to show people how you can have fun with the small things in life, particularly when you're locked inside your house. Much of Anna Paul's likability came through her sort of humbleness, that idea of enjoying the small things in the initial days of her social media posts. Anna often claimed that she came from humble beginnings. This idea that Anna Paul had come from struggle, a lot of people could probably relate to that. Anna Paul was born in Sydney, Australia on May 10th of 1999. This means, if my math is correct, she's 26 years old.
My 26th birthday today. I'm 26, that's crazy. I don't really have much of a plan for today, so let's just see what happens. This is it looks crazy.
Anna is of Turkish and German descent. According to the cover story that Anna Paul did with InStyle, her and her family bounced around between Germany and Australia for a few years before settling in Australia. Reportedly, Anna Paul's mom struggled to speak English and found it difficult to find work, but eventually she found a job as a carer. Anna Paul's father, whose name is Hans, would flip things at garage sales. Anna Paul claimed that because her parents didn't have high-paying jobs, this contributed to their financial struggles. Anna Paul also claimed in her cover story with InStyle that her and her family had to rely on Centrelink payments to get by. These are essentially government-provided social security payments in Australia. Though through research and through speaking with a team member of ours who lives in Australia, Centrelink is a lot less stigmatized than American government assistance, and it's also an option for a lot more people. A lot of college students are able to receive Centrelink payments. You're able to receive Centrelink payments for disability. So from what Anna Paul had claimed, her childhood was extremely hard. hard. Her and her family were very underprivileged. They struggled. Finances were a constant worry and strain and stress on her family. But there's a Reddit post that exposes a completely different story of Anna Paul's childhood from an actual Facebook post that her mother posted from her mother's public Facebook account, and how it was not necessarily the poor childhood that Anna Paul claimed, unless this is Anna Paul's idea of poor.
When I say I grew up broke, that is how I felt.
Apparently, according to Anna Paul, poor is a feeling, but we'll get into that later.
How I felt.
Obviously, no one ever knows the full story just from a few snippets and pictures, but from these photos, Anna and her brother are living poolside on a canal. It doesn't seem like the home you would be living in if you were living off of $30 a week, unless you were just extremely bad at managing money. In fact, in one of these old Facebook photos, one of the mom's comments, which is originally in German and translated, says both, meaning both Anna and her brother Addis, are extremely spoiled, as it must be. Interesting. Anna Paul was always rich and lied about being poor for clout. Anna and her family have been saying for years now that they basically had no money when she was growing up, but I don't necessarily believe her, because if you scroll far back enough on Instagram, you'll find pictures of her from 2013, 2014, wearing Gucci watches, and there was even a photo of her or Addis on a private jet from around that time. I think once she took off on YouTube and TikTok especially, she recreated her whole image to pretend to have been low income growing up, because it'll make her more trendy and relatable. And lo and behold, she's now one of the most famous Aussie TikTokers, all thanks to pretending to be poor for clout. And here's a photo of Anna Paul on a private jet. The original caption was Dubai. Anna's defense of her old Instagram post is that the Gucci watch is something that her father had picked up when he was doing his garage sales and trading things for money, and that the first class picture was something she was able to do because her and her brother were visiting family in Germany. Because both of these things were opportunities to sort of flex on Instagram, she took photos of herself in a Gucci watch, took photos of herself in a private jet, and posted them onto Instagram.
Photo of me sitting in first class when I was like 13 years old. Please don't quote me. Maybe I was 12, maybe I was 11, maybe I was 14. I don't know, but I'm just gonna say 13. Now, what you don't know about that photo is that that was a flight that my uncle paid for, and it was an economy flight because my whole family lives in Germany and we were in Australia. During the flight, my brother threw up all over me everywhere. Everything was wet and hot. Everything was dirty. So the flight attendants take care of unaccompanied minors, and they said to us, guys, come to the front of the plane while I clean this up. It's the last 20 minutes anyway. And of course, I posted on Instagram. I'm 12 and that's cool.
Another person makes an even more egregious claim when it comes to how the Paul family got their money. This person claims that instead of the Paul family coming from a very poor background, that they in fact had a long-standing scam, taking advantage of poor, indigenous, and disabled foster children. Her family made great money by having indigenous and disabled foster kids. Foster kid payments is tax-free and around $80K a year each, and they did it during the time a loophole with Centrelink allowed you to claim an extra $150 for CARES allowance and parenting payments. Her parents were never married as well, so claimed the single parenting payments. Their rent on the canal was $800 to $1,100 a week when they were quote-unquote poor. Her dad would claim a pension from Germany as well. They've been scammers since they arrived in Australia. Another person did challenge the statement that the Pauls could have potentially made $80,000 off of this foster system. And this person said, I previously worked for FACS DCJ and have a few family members who do this for a living with 2 to 4 kids. Here's similar rates now, plus it's completely tax-free income. And here's what a job posting for foster care says itself about the income you can make. Specialized foster carers, Inner West Eastern Sydney by Ozchild. What's in it for you? This is a great opportunity to make a difference in a young person's life. You'll be paid a monthly tax-free allowance of $6,667, and you might also be eligible for family tax benefit A and B. That's more than $70,000 a year.
I'm going to be talking about how the Paul family exploited Aboriginal kids for financial gains. So they used to foster kids for an income, and Addis said this to me, that it was for money. I mean that they used to have a foster kid. The family got in trouble because Anna would post and kind of bully this foster kid online. It got reported and Vilden wasn't allowed to have this foster kid anymore. They then got 2 Aboriginal foster kids, and Addis would say things like, when I wake up, I don't want to see their faces in the morning. They knew that these foster kids came from a vulnerable place. They need love and support. And they need people to guide them, not people who are simply trying to make an income off them. I remember one time I just wanted to make pancakes for myself and Addis, and I thought I'll make some for the kids too. And Addis was like, don't make it for them. Don't make it for them.
When Anna Paul became famous on social media, her family did not stop fostering children. Anna Paul revealed in her comment section that up until recent years, her family had foster children living with them.
Anna Paul is my absolute favorite influencer, and she recently revealed some interesting facts in her comments. They have foster children that live with them but aren't included in their daily vlogs.
Anna's former best friend confirmed this and also said that she saw the neglect of Aboriginal foster children by Anna Paul's entire family with her own eyes.
Anna and Addis had some allegations from Alice saying that they did their Aboriginal foster kids, which I'm just going to say off the record right now is true. I saw it, I witnessed it, but I'm going to get into it later. And I know what you're saying. Oh my God, you're a horrible person. You were there. But I did what I could for these kids.
I said in my podcasts that the Paul family fostered Aboriginal foster kids. And they did. They also permanently fostered another foster child that wasn't Aboriginal. She did not foster these children out of her own heart. She was doing it for a check. Keep in mind, this entire family, the Paul family, are all immigrants. The fact that they're so racist to all these fucking Australian native people, yet they're walking around on Australian soil, is just insanity to me. I witnessed disgusting things and the treatment and the neglect from that family. And Anna, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, because she made an Instagram account just to bully their first foster kid, which is the reason why that foster kid got removed from their care. So because Mama wasn't able to have a permanent foster child, she was still able to do respite, which is a system where you can foster other people's foster kids just for the weekend to give the foster parents a break. So she did that, and then she got 2 Aboriginal foster children. One of the very first weekends that I shared with the Paul family, when I was over their house, I had purchased Domino's pizza. I had bought 3 pizzas, and I had given the foster children a pizza to share, because Vildan only buys Mountain Dew, I think, or burger rings for them to eat, because it's all profit. Mama comes down and sees them eating the pizza and basically asks everyone who gave them this pizza. But she was angry. She wasn't happy. She was upset that the kids had pizza. She'd also lie to the department and say that the children are so unbehaved and really, really naughty when they are the most behaved and polite. She would lie to the department, lie to the parents of the foster children, obviously, say they're really, really, really naughty, because if the children are so not behaved and misbehaved, and oh, she gets a pay rise, she'll get a double payment.
This is so wrong on so many levels. Just the very concept that an entire family could have profited for years out of misusing and abusing the foster system, let alone the foster care system for Aboriginal children. And one of these family members becomes an influencer, has an entire platform where she claims she's filming her daily life, yet in the background this is happening. Her and her whole family are neglecting children. That's disgusting. Anna Paul was filming herself in a Rolls Royce. Meanwhile, allegedly behind the scenes, her family was neglecting Aboriginal foster children.
And we got a Rolls Royce Dawn. This thing costs more than a house. So it's a but you press the buttons, the door closes.
Yet all the while, Anna Paul was selling a social media brand of being the nice, relatable influencer coming from humble beginnings. The irony is truly incredible. Anna Paul would claim to live the normal, average life, posting daily vlogs showcasing her lifestyle, her beauty routines, travel adventures, and personal moments, really making her audience feel like they were a part of her life. Anna, throughout her career, has always posted on social media frequently. Much of her audience has felt that they've developed a deeper connection with Anna Paul, and the way that she frames her daily vlogs makes it seem like you really are getting a look at her life as she's living it.
If you've ever wondered why some people become seemingly overnight celebrities by vlogging on TikTok, while 99% of people who try that fall short, look to Anna Paul as a great case study. Something really interesting that Anna Paul does, when you watch one of her vlogs, it feels like it's happening in current time, and it also feels spontaneous, like the viewer is making those last-minute decisions with her as she goes.
On her TikTok, Anna Paul has a posting schedule of 5.2 videos per week, essentially posting a video every single weekday, and has an average engagement of 379,000 interactions per post. To this day, out of Anna's top performing videos on TikTok, 3 are about her lifestyle, and the 4th one is about her day in the life as a sex worker. Already, I'm sure you could see how that might possibly create a conflicting dynamic if someone doesn't handle their platform responsibly.
As you can tell, I'm not dressed very appropriately for Dubai, because you do have to cover up here when you go to like the markets and stuff, which we're doing.
I thought this would be okay to wear. You know what, I'm gonna go, and then if I find something that I can buy to cover up with, I'll buy that.
Anna Paul's content also often featured her relationship with her now ex-boyfriend, high school sweetheart Glenn Thompson. Anna and Glenn started dating in December of 2015, when Anna was only 16 years old and first started making social media content. Anna and Glenn lived together in Queensland, Australia until their 2023 breakup. Glenn frequently appeared in Anna's TikTok and Instagram content, often filming her videos and becoming a key figure on her social media.
Oh my god, are you still sick?
Yeah, but stay away. I don't want you to catch it again.
Don't worry.
Why?
Once you get the rage, it never goes away.
Oh no!
Oh no! This is the reality of being a corn star on Christmas Eve. Glenn is usually in my videos, and tonight I'm wearing like a Mrs. Claus outfit. Does that mean that he has to be Santa Claus? Please? I don't want that. To make matters worse, Glenn passed out, so he has like scars on his head. Okay, we did the video. Did you like it?
I loved it.
Okay. Bye. Wait, if you want to see it. It's linked to my Instagram bio. Okay, bye. And I did not break up, okay? Don't worry. I know everybody's really concerned.
It might even be said that a huge portion of Anna Paul's success in her brand and her online persona was due to her relationship with Glenn, which was again a consistent part of her content. It almost took on a life and personality of its own. And once the pair broke up, there was constant commentary about how Anna Paul had changed for the worse after the breakup, disliking her content now that Glenn was no longer in it. I only bring this up because, well, social media is a business with both work on and off camera. It's never officially been stated whether or not Glenn was compensated for the years of work he poured into helping boost Anna Paul's platform, what essentially became Anna's highly successful social media empire.
I'm going to show you a regular day in my life. Glenn is cooking me something before my horse riding lesson. What? And now we're on the way to the horse riding lesson. I'm very grateful that Glenn is just standing there with the camera the whole time. He records the whole thing, so I can always watch it back afterwards.
In 2023, Anna Paul announced on her TikTok that her and Glenn had split after 8 years together.
So Glenn and I broke up. We were together for 8 years, and I know that my relationship is a relationship that you guys looked up to, as in like, the only reason I believe in love is because I know Glenn, you know, and it was a mutual breakup. You know, we've been together since we were 16 or 15, and now we're 24, and that's what's happened. So
Anna continued to claim that the breakup was completely mutual and denied any rumors of infidelity.
There's a lot of rumors, of course that's what happened. There's so many rumors circulating. Glenn cheated on Anna, and that Glenn posted on his close friend's story that he cheated on Anna, and Anna has no idea, but now Anna's gonna find out, and Anna cheated on Glenn when she was overseas. What are you guys talking about? Please! This was a completely mutual decision between the both of us, and that is it.
Though after a mysterious person continued to appear in Anna Paul's videos, many viewers accused Anna of cheating on Glenn. There's a Reddit post that goes into even more detail on the timeline here. Essentially, the takeaway was this Redditor believes there was an overlap of Anna dating this new person while she was breaking up with Glenn. A commenter also states that this person, whose name is Amaric, I'm so sorry if I said that wrong, I know I've been terrible with pronunciation lately, who Anna Paul started dating at the time her and Glenn broke up, was allegedly 18 years old at the time, and Anna Paul was 24 years old.
I'm gonna go on the records and say that Anna cheated on Glenn. We know that. Well, I know she's cheated, and I've heard from a very close source. Yes, she was paying measly amount of money every week, like money he wouldn't even be able to live off, and made him move away from his family and quit his job in the town they lived in, all to just like be a puppet for Anna.
Anna Paul continued to deny that the two were dating, saying that he was just a family friend.
Anna Paul really thought that she was going to convince us that her new boyfriend was a family friend. Anna Paul's family friend, Emmerich, has basically been in every other video for the last year. According to a family friend who I've been speaking to, Glenn was left to look after the dog and 2 cats. And allegedly, Anna just dumped her 2 horses. Completely forgotten about and they now have handlers that look after them. And the same family friend source told me that Amaric's family no longer speak to him because of his relationship with Anna.
Then in February of 2024, Anna Paul gifted Glenn a $424,000 AUD Nissan Skyline GTR R33. This caused many people to label Anna Paul as, again, a nice, gift-giving, friendly person, the best ex-girlfriend one could hope for. So on the other side of that, people wondered, why did Anna give Glenn this gift? Many speculating that it was a controlling gesture, a way to sort of keep him silent about aspects of the relationship, or possibly pay him for the years of work that he did for her and her social media business.
It's yours. It's yours. It's yours.
Anna surprised me with my dream car. Let me show you. It's a 1992 Nissan Skyline R32 GTR.
So according to this picture right here from Classic.com, the average cost for that car is about $56,128. The lowest sell for this car was about $16,000, and the most expensive, or like top sell, was $379,000. Here's the one right here that sold for $379,000. It's a 1992 Nissan Skyline.
But long after the breakup, the two of them continued to hang out together, contributing to this family-friendly image. Because YouTube often does not like this topic, for the word only, I do have to bleep it out or shorten it to the word OF. That goes for the word sex work, either bleeping it out or using the word SW. I'm sorry if that bothers you, particularly for this chapter where I'm going to be using those two phrases very frequently. I want to have this discussion on this topic while also being able to make a YouTube video and post on this platform. So that's the only workaround I can really find. I also want to make it very clear that I am not demonizing sex work in this video. I am not calling sex work disgusting in this video, and I'm not calling Anna Paul disgusting just for the fact that she is a sex worker. That is not the point of this video or this section. That being said, I also think there is nuance when it comes to the discussion of OnlyFans. The platform OF has grown extremely large, and the way that some OF influencers promote their content has gotten out of control. It also completely ruins it for people on the platform who are working to do things ethically and legitimize S work. So let's talk about Anna Paul and the way that she's misused her platform, in my opinion.
There seems to be a trend among girls who are mattress actresses. I've had a few girls say to me, "You don't need to be doing all that to make money." And I've been seeing them do this to other girls in the industry as well, saying, "I don't have to do this or that to make money. I thought we were all in this together. Why is it so hard to be nice?" And you know what? I was confused at first. But then I found out the girls saying these things don't actually do that kind of content. But they lie and say they do. So you're benefiting off of people online thinking you do these things, but you're putting down the women who actually do these things. One thing about girls in the industry who are also on TikTok is there are a lot of girls who look up to them and they're inspired. So they start doing the things that you say you're doing, but you're not actually doing them. You're not educating these girls correctly, and that can be dangerous. And you know what? You may not be comfortable doing the things that we do. That's fine. 100%. Everyone's comfortable doing different things. What's the point in shaming someone just because they're comfortable doing more than you? And when you benefit off of lying about doing the things that we actually do. And you know what? Lying's one thing. Get your bag. Around. We're all women. It's not very girls girl view. Nobody in this industry is better because they do something or don't do something.
Anna Paul and the discussion around Anna Paul becomes more complex because of the fact that she's an OnlyFans creator and she chooses to brand herself as a self-empowered sex worker when she wants to. But then when she doesn't want to, she completely disregards that label. She'll toss it aside like dirty laundry and try on the persona of a family-friendly content creator. When Anna Paul first joined OnlyFans, she was an early adopter and quickly became one of the platform's top creators.
I told my mom that I want to do OnlyFans, and she basically told me, if you don't do OnlyFans, you're an idiot. Like, you have such a beautiful body, you have a platform. If you don't use it, you're so dumb. Like, you better use it. So I did. So yeah, she loves me so much.
By the way, before you come for me, she said as a joke. She doesn't actually think I'm an idiot. Like, I could do whatever I want and she loves me. So, yeah, that's the point I was trying to make. She said as a joke, but still, you know, she's like, you better do this. Come on. She's like, if I was your age, I'd do it, so you better do it.
Her marketing was more direct at the time, focusing on her identity as an S worker. This seemed to sort of co-opt the self-empowerment girl boss era at the time.
All you need is oats, banana, cinnamon, and some big You're gonna peel your bananas and completely mash them up. Once you have these men in a bowl, you mash them up so they're nice and creamy like this.
But around 2022 to 2023, Anna Paul went through a rebrand. She rebranded herself from this self-empowered S worker to a more wholesome, family-friendly content, especially on TikTok and Instagram. She pivoted away from explicit references and instead highlighted positivity and relatability. When did Anna Paul rebrand to a more wholesome vibe? I went on a stalker journey through her IG and noticed that a lot of her earlier pictures are her going out, partying, drinking, and her content was much less wholesome. She now likes to say she was never into any of those things. I know she also claims they grew up poor, but her earlier pictures of when she was in school clearly tell a different story, unless she started doing OF at a really early age. Anna's marketing became more subtle, directing her audience to her link in bio, which was her link tree, without ever directly mentioning that she does adult content. This did allow her to break into the mainstream influencer sphere. She pretended she was not an SW when she wanted to and it benefited her, and then promoted it when she wanted to. While this is understandable for a few reasons, being an S worker shouldn't be someone's entire identity, and also people's platforms can get censored or banned when they do bring up the fact that they make adult content, so it's understandable why someone might not want to talk about it. Going so far as to make completely wholesome, family-friendly content that's clearly directed at an audience of all ages inevitably brings in a younger audience to your platform. Anna Paul is representative of a larger issue in what's essentially not becoming the SW industry, but the OF industry, where large influencers promote this idea of access to exclusive content or exclusive access to them, but oftentimes what they're selling is a complete lie. Their audience is not actually getting exclusive access to them in any way. Their content isn't actually very special on this exclusive site. Not that I'm shaming someone for setting boundaries on the extent of what they post. It's just possibly deceptive marketing to tell someone you're posting exclusive content and then not post what you say you're posting on that site, and they don't find that out until they've already paid money to get access to it. And we also know now that many people use bots or other people, not them, in the messaging on OF. So when people think they're getting exclusive messaging access to this creator, they're actually messaging a different person entirely. So in all ways, these creators are selling a fake idea of exclusivity. Of course, this isn't the case for all influencers or all celebrities, but it also detracts from real S workers who are trying to utilize platforms like OnlyFans. The idea of selling a lie is important too, because these influencers are selling the concept of S work. They're claiming to be S workers, but they may not be living out the full reality that other S workers are. But their audience doesn't know the difference. When speaking about her career on OF, Anna Paul has claimed, "I am one of the top OnlyFans creators in Australia. That's what I do. I love it and it's my favorite job in the world." This message, while empowering, is also very surface level when it comes to the real challenges that S workers and OF creators face. Of course, OF and similar platforms have been seen as a symbol of empowerment, a better alternative to the mainstream corn industry. That doesn't mean there aren't potential downsides to choosing it as a career. A 2021 study found that society perceives women who engage in S work in a devastatingly negative light. Researchers found that women who chose to involve themselves in S work were targets for harassment, dehumanization, and prejudice. Of course, that's a problem with society itself, not a woman who makes the choice to do S work, but it's also something that people should be educated on before they make the choice to do this career path. A 2022 study also found that S workers were likely to internalize the stigma associated with their career and feel lonelier as a result. While While most OF creators on platforms like Instagram and TikTok make content geared towards adult audiences, Anna Paul's content is very family friendly, appropriate for all ages. I'm not knocking positivity. My channel's called Cruel World Happy Mind for a reason, because in this very cruel world, I do think you can examine the brutality of things and still walk away viewing the beauty of the world in equal measure. But there are ways to tip the scales into toxic positivity, or positivity that is intentionally manipulative, framing your reality in purposeful ways in order to elicit a response from your following, or to gather a certain demographic of people. Because much of my critique of Anna Paul is the fact that while all of this is happening, she's simultaneously building a social media brand off of inspiring young girls. As this Redditor notes, I thought her whole platform was to empower young girls, which I know can be contradicting with the way she promotes OF. Reality is, I don't think Anna Paul really stands for anything. Yet she's built a platform off of co-opting the S-work movement and also built a platform off of inspiring young girls. She's built a platform off of these two very important things, yet at her core has no morals. Think of how dangerous that can be. Meaning young people, predominantly young people, follow her, and then she promotes an 18+ subscription site to that following. A person on TikTok put it in a much more positive light, essentially saying that Anna Paul's success on OnlyFans is through her building up her personal social media brand.
What is the difference between the OnlyFans stars who are making $250,000 every single month versus the ones who are making virtually nothing? Anna Paul, the most successful OnlyFans creator in Australia. The reason she is so successful and has followings like this and makes so much money off OnlyFans is because she doesn't solely rely on OnlyFans as her platform. She builds her personal brand and really shows off her personality on TikTok and Instagram. It's much easier for people to buy into you and buy into your OnlyFans when you're not just OnlyFans. It's really hard to create a loyal audience when so many people do exactly what you do. So you need to make sure people buy into you and create loyal fans by doing that.
Because Anna Paul spent time cultivating her social media brand and image, her online personality, people felt they knew her and were really familiar with her in a way they may not have felt with other OF creators. This was something Anna Paul was able to use in her favor. The question is, what are the ethics behind this? Especially when a young audience is potentially involved and parasocial relationships. For example, let's take one of Anna Paul's TikTok videos where she's filming a day in the life vlog, except for it's a day in the life of her filming OF content.
People are always shocked when they find out that I'm the top creator on OF in Australia, so I'm going to show you what a day in my work life is like. So today we're at World. So we're making a new video tonight. By the way, the link is in my Instagram bio. But we got to find some stuff to buy. So, babe, would you wear this? It's scary. Holy baby, look at this. That is crazy. Okay, we're finished. We got the stuff, we're stocked up. But yeah, that's my job.
On one hand, this sort of content could help liberate S-workers, normalize the industry. That being said, another question is, does this sort of content only glamorize the industry and not share the true realities? Anna Paul is an extremely rich content creator with millions of followers living a very wealthy, privileged life at this point in her life. Other S-workers are not living that reality. When you go through the comments on this video referenced, you can see very obviously from the profile pictures and social media accounts on that comment section that so many people commenting on this video are young girls, making it clear that many people that view Anna Paul's content are young girls who look up to her and take what she says very seriously. Anna Paul's ex-best friend Michaela has even noted this, claiming that Anna Paul's audience is very young.
Anna is preying on the vulnerability and desperation of impressionable young fans for her profit. The whole premise of you luring your largely underage fan base to a website containing pornographic photos of you is so twisted and weird.
This means that the ethical concerns surrounding the way that Anna Paul promotes her fans extend to the idea of informed consent and exploitation. Anna Paul's marketing could potentially create a gateway effect, where young followers who admire her lifestyle may be inadvertently directed towards her adult content. Anna Paul herself might be potentially introducing a ton of underage individuals to adult content, and she might be knowingly doing this. You know who your audience demographic is, not just through your demographic statistics, but through your comments, people that are commenting commenting on your videos, your content. You're able to tell. What's even more concerning is on the user side, OF has very laxed age verification requirements. OF only mandates age verification for content creators, not subscribers. So when you subscribe to view OF content, you don't have to verify that you are over 18 years old, besides essentially clicking a box that says you're 18, meaning that it would be very easy for Anna Paul's underage fans to view her adult content on what claims to be an 18+ site. Anna Paul's response to these demographic concerns has been to claim that 93.8% of her audience is over the age of 18.
Here are my analytics. You can see that 93.8% of my followers are over the age of 18, which means majority of my following are adults.
But this statistic has been met with a lot of skepticism. You'll see throughout this entire video how easy it is to disprove the fact that Anna Paul's audience is all adults. Time and time again, there is so much irrefutable evidence that not only is a lot of Anna Paul's following young girls, but that Anna Paul consistently chooses to market her content to young girls. One of the most easy ways to refute this claimed statistic is just showing the video evidence from Anna Paul's meet and greets, where you can see Anna Paul meeting her fans, and all of those fans are young teenage girls. This does raise questions about the accuracy of platform analytics or the effectiveness of age verification systems. The only way OF creators can really gain subscribers is through promoting the fact that they have an OF page on other social media accounts like TikTok, Instagram. Most OF creators do this responsibly. Their content is adult themed or adult-centered, making it clear what their page is for and what it's advertising. But there's a rise of OF creators who blur that line. While they make adult content, they're simultaneously marketing influencer content to teens. And what may be under-discussed is the way that their content subliminally or overtly recruits new creators into the platform. But it's not glamorous to talk about the other side of the OF platform. It's much easier just to profit off of it.
Okay, can we talk about the big business of OnlyFans? Into 2023, OnlyFans, like the whole platform, generated over $6 billion, and it paid its creators, I think, around $5 billion, which is more than the entire NBA salary pool. What makes OnlyFans business model so interesting to me is that it doesn't just sell adult content, you know, that's been available online for decades. It's really selling the illusion of personal connection at scale, and that is worth billions. And for a lot of these huge creators, their biggest driver of revenue and income isn't just like the monthly subscription fee, it's these upsell personalized messages. And for the biggest creators, they're not even the ones answering those messages. They have like assistants or like other agencies that are doing the work. This platform, OnlyFans, has essentially monetized loneliness, which is a very growing epidemic in our digital age. And as we see community ties continue to weaken, and they are weakening across the country, platforms like OnlyFans that offer a simulation of connection are going to become even more valuable.
The thing is, Anna Paul herself was extremely young when she first started making and profiting off of OF content. How old were you when you started OnlyFans? I was 18, but she has said in the past that her parents were supportive of her decision. How did your parents react when you first started corn? They were okay with it. What did your mom say when she found out you do OF? I told her I'm gonna do it, and she told me to go for it. Many viewers question the ethics around the idea of Anna Paul's parents, especially her mom, being so supportive of her career in OF, only because of the fact that her mom is very financially enmeshed with Anna Paul. She actually lives off of Anna and her success in every way imaginable.
Mama came from the worst childhood you could ever imagine. Like, she ran away from home when she was 17. It's a whole nother story, but that's a bit personal. So she wanted our childhood to be the exact opposite of what her childhood was like, right? And it really was. And she now deserves to be put first in every single way, which is why I try to make her life as fun and as easy and as simple as possible. I booked trips for her across the world. We're going to Europe this year. We're going on a cruise because she's never been on a cruise, and neither have we. We're very excited, but she deserves everything and anything she wants.
Anna Paul prices her OF at $9.99 a month, 16 AUD per month. Come and see why I'm in the top 0.01% of all OnlyFans creators. An online sleuth account by the name of Dutch Mindy came forward claiming that by the time Anna Paul was 22 years old, she was making $220,000 a month off of her OF account. I got sent this from Tattle. Anna Paul makes roughly $220,000 per month before tax. It's also been said that Anna's OF is very tame and underwhelming. It's been noted by multiple sources, including Anna herself, that what she posts on OF is not much different to her social media posts. Anna Paul said in an interview with InStyle, "From the beginning, I've had firm boundaries about the kind of content I post. What I post on fans is akin to what Kylie Jenner posts on her Instagram. So my perspective isn't necessarily representative of someone who's very positive about being a full-service S worker. It's impossible for me to represent the whole spectrum." I don't think I can fully have input on whether or not the way that Anna promotes her OF is deceptive. I think that's a topic for those within the SW industry itself. In this interview that Anna Paul does, I do think it brings up an important topic from the research that we've done into the SW industry, which is the importance in the ability to have boundaries when posting adult content. According to the site Pippin Club, which offers resources for OF creators, the pressure to post more revealing content is real. So many creators have talked about how it feels like once you share a little, everyone wants more. It's totally okay to set boundaries, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. One creator even said the more you share, the more you're expected to unveil, and that can really mess with your head. Through the specific ways that Anna Paul has marketed her social media platform, her brand, her lifestyle content, and her OF page, Anna Paul has become extremely wealthy. It's important to state that for most S workers, that is not the case or their lived reality. In 2022, Anna Paul's net worth was estimated between 6 to 7 million, and it's only grown since then. Anna Paul's main approach to promoting her OF platform was through doing money giveaways.
Put it on top like this. When she gets home to open it, it'll look like that. So we're gonna do it to the whole wall, I think. It's right there. Here's another one. Should we put them into some food as well? Babies need, oh, that is food, lol. Nappies. Into nappies, okay. Hope that they...
Sending $100 to as many people as I possibly can to the people who have ever supported me on OF. I want to support you back.
These giveaways were mainly advertised on Anna Paul's Instagram account, which used to have over 2.3 million followers. But this cross-platform promotion strategy would later come into question and become the subject of serious legal and ethical concerns, particularly with involving underage audiences in adult content. Earlier this year, Anna Paul did a promotion where her Instagram followers could win cash prizes from $10 to $1,000, only if they subscribed to her OF account. Many online criticized this promotional giveaway, including Anna Paul's former best friend, Michaela Testa, who's also an OF creator. Michaela characterized this giveaway as essentially an illegal lottery, one that exploits vulnerable young audiences. Michaela also claimed that this giveaway is all part of Anna Paul's performative generosity.
Anna's performative generosity, like hiding money in cities or dishing out giveaways behind a paywall, reek of superiority. Watching her fans scramble over scraps, fighting each other because they need these funds while she films it, flaunts her designer labels, endless holidays, and material excess. This is dystopian and out of touch.
While Anna Paul claims that in her past she struggled and she's come from a very poor background, she treats her fans who are going through the same experience as something to be flaunted and shown off on her platform, having them grab and grasp at whatever scraps she decides to throw their way. All through these giveaways where you usually have to do something for Anna first, like purchase a product of hers or subscribe to her OF site. But at the same time, Anna Paul is constantly posting and showing off her expensive lifestyle. This highlights the problematic dynamic of wealthy influencers utilizing financial desperation as a marketing tool. It's also just weird with the layer of OF added into it. Utilizing a platform that was once marketed as a way to end exploitation, all as a way to exploit your financially desperate audience, and also expose your potentially young audience to 18+ material.
Anna is preying on the vulnerability and desperation of impressionable young fans for her profit under the disguise of self-love, empowerment, and giving back. Anna, if you truly wanted to give back to your fans, you would use a free platform such as your giant Instagram page with over 2.4 million followers. Or, if you truly wanted to give back to your OF subscribers, you would do it privately within that platform. By posting IG stories advertising that you're sending money to subscribers, you are directly trying to lure new customers over to your page, a page which costs $16 to access. This $16 is essentially a lottery ticket. If you charge an entry fee in order for somebody to win something, it's classed by law as a lottery in Australia. Anna is not licensed to hold lotteries. It's unethical, illegal, and against OF and Instagram's T&Cs. And on top of that, it's exploitation, particularly for her young audience. You only need to ID check to be a creator on the platform, not a spender. I've been on the platform for 6 years, I know it well, and we also conducted a test on this, which means these youths really are subscribing and tipping just like they told me that they have.
According to critics familiar with Australian lottery laws, requiring an entry fee, like the OF subscription cost that you need to pay in order to enter the giveaway that Anna was marketing, to participate in a prize constitutes as a lottery, which requires proper licensing to operate legally. But so far, it doesn't seem like Anna Paul has had any sort of trouble or accountability for her actions. Though Anna Paul had been banned in the past for associating her OF content with her TikTok platform. In early 2021, Anna Paul's TikTok account was banned for allegedly posting explicit content.
So TikTok has permanently banned my account at 1.2 million followers for absolutely no reason. This was my account before, and then 1 second later it looked like this. I post daily vlogs on there. I vlog every single day of my life for a year, and apparently that goes against TikTok's community guidelines. Posting myself go to lunch, posting myself doing my makeup goes against community guidelines. What the fuck? My TikTok has been falsely removed, and if anybody knows of a way to get it back, please help me because I'm so lost. I don't know what to do.
A spokesperson for TikTok claimed that Anna Paul's account was banned because the platform has strict guidelines around sexual content. Our community guidelines make it clear that we do not allow content that commits, promotes, or glorifies sexual solicitation or accounts that attempt to redirect traffic. We will remove such content and accounts as we work to promote a safe community environment. Anna Paul told news.com.au that her videos on TikTok were designed to be inspirational and that even her first TikTok account didn't include any explicit references to her being an S worker.
So final update about why my TikTok account was banned at 1.2 million followers for no reason. It's because I do OnlyFans, and TikTok does not support S workers, and I have proof. TikTok never gave me a reason. To me they said, oh, we're really sorry you got deleted, there's nothing we can do, we're really sorry. But to news articles they said that my TikTok account glorifies sexual solicitation because I do OnlyFans in my private life. There are pedophiles on TikTok. I see literal on my For You page, but I do S work, so I must be disgusting and my account has to be banned forever. Not to mention, my whole TikTok account was PG. All I posted was vlogs of my daily life and cooking videos. I had mothers come up to me in public telling me what a good example I am for their daughters. But because I do OnlyFans in my private life, I have to be banned. I have to be stopped.
It's so weird. I don't know what I've done. Anna said, there's so many other S workers on TikTok. I just post my day. I just post myself going to lunch.
So I'm not upset that my account got banned at 1.2 million followers for my sake. That's not why I'm upset. I'm upset because I see your messages and I see what my videos do for you. And the fact that my videos are gone now makes me really, really sad. Because I know that my videos help you. I know that some of my videos you guys have them saved in your favorites and you go back and you rewatch them and they make you happy and they help your anxiety or they help your bad thoughts. And it just makes me really sad that they're gone now.
While it's hard to say, you do wonder if TikTok took notice of her younger following, though that's just pure speculation. But this ban wouldn't last very long as Anna Paul started a different TikTok account which now has amassed over 6 million followers. In 2022, Anna Paul and her circle did a few meet and greets that drew large crowds. Her final meet and greet in Perth got shut down in September of 2022 due to fans getting injured. The streets outside the Stack store where the meet and greet was being held was filled with thousands of people. According to Anna, the police had only seen crowds like this when there was a Justin Bieber concert in town. Police eventually told Anna they had to shut down the meet and greet for safety.
Stack's organized so much security that I thought it was overkill. Like, the cops are here, like everybody was ready, and we started doing the meet and greet. It was good for the first 20 minutes, and then the cops said, okay, we have to shut this down. There's too many people. We have never seen anything like this. The last time we saw something like this was like for a Justin Bieber concert. Like, we have never seen anything like this. We need to shut this down for safety reasons. And the reason that we then worked with the police to shut it down as soon as possible is because we didn't want anything bad happening, because your safety is our number one priority. We were all so disappointed and we feel like we let you down, but we wanted to make the event free. We didn't want you to have to pay to see us, but it should have been ticketed, and we know that now.
Over the course of the day, videos got posted of chaos unfolding at the meet and greet. Fans posted videos of people yelling at each other, fighting, and throwing deodorant at one another.
So today, me, Kyla, and two other mates went to Anna Paul's meet and greet in Perth City. I'd say it was a bit traumatizing for a few of us, especially two of my mates that we went with. As the day went on, people were just pushing in, like people from way further back in the lines, and just doing anything possible, pushing and shoving. There was a bit of verbal abuse to each other. Verbal and physical. Yeah, verbal and physical. There was a few fights that happened. Yeah. And yeah, a lot of arguing and just like snarky comments and stuff.
Also, these fans look incredibly young. It's hard to say the level of responsibility Anna Paul had for the chaos of the meet and greet. Her and her close circle claim that they informed authorities of the meet and greet taking place and that they put necessary protections in place for the safety of everyone involved. Though I think the entire point of this situation is that it exposes yet again who Anna Paul's main demographic is. As you can see in all videos posted of the people that attended the meet and greet, that they're incredibly young. The majority of people that showed up to this meet and greet are teen girls, yet Anna Paul is trying to claim that her demographic is made up of adults. Okay, one of the most convoluted controversies that Anna Paul has gotten into is in March of 2024, when TikTok creator Veruca Salt claimed that Anna Paul's father, Hans Paul, was homeless, and that Anna Paul was not only aware of this, but was living a luxurious lifestyle online. All the while, nearby, her father was living in squalor. Veruca found this out allegedly through a friend who was looking after her infant son, who had unfortunately passed away. This friend told her that she was seeing Anna Paul's father, and went on to tell Veruca of Anna Paul's father's situation.
When my son was still alive, I had this woman, like a family friend of mine, come over to look after my son. She's like, oh, do you know so-and-so from the internet? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I don't live under a rock. Of course I know who that is. She tells me that she's going on a date with her dad, and she has been low-key kind of dating him on and off. She's telling me that, he smells bad and he lives in his van and he can't really shower. He doesn't have money for food. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? That man's daughter is so fucking wealthy. What do you mean he doesn't have money for food?
Veruca also claimed that Anna Paul's father lived off of DoorDash, while the rest of Anna Paul's family essentially laughed from up in their ivory towers.
So my friend's like, what is this guy doing in the parking lot, and what is he doing picking up somebody else's food doing DoorDash? Former associate who's with my friend says, yeah, no, he's literally homeless. The way that his children treat him is disgusting.
I don't necessarily think it's always appropriate to comment or speculate on family dynamics, especially when those involved aren't saying what's going on to the public themselves. And personally, I don't think it's always the most healthy thing to claim that children are expected to give back to their parents when they're older and able to financially. Sometimes that's a little bit icky because we don't know what went on in their childhood. That being said, Veruca did give a valid point in her video that the entire time this was happening, Anna Paul was cosplaying as a generous gift giver online. She would constantly film herself giving out generous gifts to her viewers and audience, giving back to all of her fans that were in need. All the while, local people in her community were claiming that her father was in need.
He recently only got a bottle of water and ran out on the bill of a bottle of water because he literally cannot afford it. And what eats me alive is the fact that this girl sits on the internet and says, I'm a gift giver, I love giving back, I love my family. When in reality, she's texting her dad, hey, I need you to come over to be in a video. And her dad is apparently such a sweetheart and such a nice man that he will never ever say anything publicly about it.
Veruca also showed a DM that she had sent to Anna Paul before this. Since before any of this had happened, the two of them were both in Australia. They had met in person before. There was some sort of acquaintance relationship established. Hey girl, I'm not gonna lie. Something has been bothering me and I think it's best for me to talk to you first. You have always been nice to me, and I think I owe you the courtesy to speak to you about it. I found out not through the influencer Vine. I found out by happenstance that your dad is borderline homeless and living in his van, doing DoorDash for some money, and he's showering at beach gym showers. I heard that you apparently text him just to be in videos with you. It hurts me as a former homeless person and also a parent. I couldn't deal with the pain if I was him. If this is true, it also shatters the version of yourself you have shown to me and your audience. To be honest, I know that this lifestyle is true for him, but I was wondering if you have a side or something about it. And the message just says seen. Anna Paul's ex-best friend Michaela Testa also confirmed this story.
Anna, I lived with you and your family for almost 3 years. I know these people and I know them very well. Your father and I have had many conversations where he has been upset about things going on in his life.
She claimed that Anna's father, Hans Paul, struggled financially despite Anna presenting a different narrative online.
Telling them all sorts of things about how you guys treat him and how he doesn't have money for food. He's running out on bills at the Blue Water Grill. He's going to Woolworths and getting the free fruit from there. And we know that because Woolworths employees know.
Michaela also claimed that Hans was homeless during this time.
Your father, I had his location for 4 years, an extra year after we broke up, on Life 360. I knew where he was, and he was always at the Blue Water Grill, and he was homeless this whole time. You bullied him. The shit you and your family said about Hans Paul was diabolical, and the only reason why I even brought it up in the podcast is because Veruca was getting so bullied because she brought it to the internet in 2024. I had to say something to clear her name, something you never did. You are a family content creator. You make family content every single day. People are allowed to comment on it.
Michaela claimed that this was because Anna's mother, Vildan, cheated on Hans.
Because he was no longer allowed to live in the house because Vildan was cheating on him. Simple as that. I witnessed it all. So anyways, I'll catch you up later. He was living in a van.
The two were never married, and the specifics of their relationship is seemingly unknown to the public. Not that it's anyone's business. Michaela claimed that Hans was burnt out from the years of trying to sell antiques so his family could have a good upbringing. So when Hans was thrown out of the house, he scraped together enough money to at least buy himself a van. His family threw their family dogs out with him as well.
It was actually tiring of how many times I had to defend this man to his own kids. But I don't want to ramble. I'll get to it. And Ninja's on medication. He's living in this tiny van. As you can see, his storage. And then this is like how Ninja and BB fit in the car. And then Hans is expected to sleep in this car too. And it's one of those ones like the sun heats it up. Like it's just not the vibe. He had to buy this van and like put whatever he could put in it. BB, on the other hand, she was not trained at all. So the reason why they probably palmed BB and Ninja off to Papa.
Now, again, this is allegedly what Michaela witnessed at the time that she was there and present with the family. But of course, we don't know exactly what happened years before within that family dynamic. Personally, I think sometimes family dynamic systems can be very complex.
Worked his ass off. He had so many nice cars. He's from Germany. He's provided for his family. He would sell antiques. He would make so much money. Always have them living in a nice situation. Always having money to provide. Nice gifts, everything. But I want you to know that even though he was the main provider for the entire house, Vildan had some sort of resentment and animosity towards this man. It was like she was with him, but she hated him. She would always talk about him to her kids. So obviously growing up, Papa was always there, but Vildan was always in these kids' ears with shit. This is information that I got told by Hans. I don't want to hear anything about it. This is not he said, she said. I heard this from the source.
That being said, even though the allegations of Anna's father being homeless have been backed up by numerous people who live in their area, Hans Paul has come out publicly a few different times and refuted those statements, or has tried to claim that his van lifestyle is of his own accord. For example, his Instagram bio reads, "Van life, travel, photography, minimalism," and he made a response that read, "It has come to my attention that there's been some toxic misinformation going on about my private life and my relationship with my family. I've been living my dream and my daughter has been nothing but supportive. If you have a look at my Instagram feed, you'll easily discover that I've been traveling the world in the last few years and that I'm lacking nothing. I'm very proud of what my daughter Anna has achieved and of the person she has become. If there's anything that can be taken from this, it's that idle gossip causes nothing but hurt. Don't participate." Now back to my family holiday. In a response video this year, so a year later after the controversy, Anna provided over $60,000 in transfers that she had allegedly made to her father, which she had described by using the phrase pocket money. Anna Paul had deleted this response video, but thank goodness for Adam McIntyre and his reaction content as the full response video.
Michaela, my dad is none of your business. So she's saying he's homeless. Listen, my dad lives in a van because he wants to live a van life. That does not make him homeless. I sent him money like I always do. And you can see in this screenshot that I said that he can ask me for any amount of money at any time.
Again, this is great. And you know what? I'll take her word for it. I was also shown text messages on Michaela's video where Anna was sending videos being like, oh my god, why is he spending $3 of my money? What can you even buy with $3? If anything, I hope she treats her dad good. You know? I hope she treats her dad good. And that's as much as, I guess, any of us can say on that.
Here is the money that I've sent my dad in the last 12 months. I have sent my father nearly $60,000 tax-free just for pocket money. Just for funsies. Just so he can spend it on whatever he wants.
I feel that the way that she talks, like, I've seen so many videos of her pretending to not be incredibly rich or incredibly wealthy, to kind of be like, oh, I'm sending him this money just as pocket money. Like, come on, just as pocket money.
A Reddit post points out that in Anna's response video, the screenshot that she provides only shows her transfers of sending her father money starting at the time that she gets called out for her father being homeless.
And funny how your receipts only show you sending your father money, which I'm very suspicious on the look of those screenshots, after Veruca posted about him being homeless. If your father had money, he wouldn't be doing DoorDash. I had all the receipts in my podcast. If you was giving your father $60,000, he's not doing DoorDash for a $3 delivery fee. You are insanity.
I think overall, the fact that none of this was ever mentioned for a very long time until someone called her out publicly, when Hans Paul, Anna's father, would come over and film in videos of them going out to dinner or going on trips, all the while he was living in a van, and the family tried to pretend like he was living in the same house as them as one big happy family, goes to show that Anna portrays online a completely different reality than the actual life she's living. Veruca makes a very profound Instagram post, which I'll read half of it here. Please stop asking me to speak about Anna Paul when you already know what I think. She's a manipulative, compulsive liar. She allowed the internet to rip me a new one while she sat in a room on a cruise ship screaming at her dad to tell her what he said to my son's babysitter, his partner. She knows everything I said was true. She was more than happy to sit in silence and let her fans bully me when I had pure intentions and told no lies. Only 1 month after my son's death. Also, if you couldn't clock that the poverty stories were fabricated based on the picture of her quote-unquote Christmas tree that was literally a stick on the table, real poor people know that we still have a Christmas tree, decorations, presents, food, etc. She just thought poor people had no Christmas, so that's what she pretended she had. She was cosplaying poor because it makes you think one day you can be like her too. Everything Anna Paul is doing is selling you a story that's become her brand so that she can sell you more products. This is how Anna Paul created her brand Pauly. To at least give Anna Paul some legitimate credit, through her entire social media career, she's chosen not to work with other brands and instead opted to create her own. This may be because Anna's influence led to significant boost in brands she endorsed. For example, one skincare company reported a 900% sales increase when she promoted their product. It's clear, in my opinion, that this experience led Anna to realize that if she promoted a skincare product, that brand would probably have a huge success, which could have potentially led to her wanting to release her own skincare brand and directly promote it, leading to her releasing her brand Pauly.
This was my skin 1 year ago. And now 1 year later, you guys ask me for my skincare routine every single day. I was so sick of trying every single skincare brand under the planet for real and nothing working. So I came up with my own. My skincare line is launching in 1 week.
That being said, in the process of releasing her own skincare brand, Anna Paul may have exposed the very thing she was trying to hide, that the majority of her audience is very young. When Anna Paul launched her skincare brand in 2023, it had a 6-figure waitlist. Through the entire process, process of Anna Paul posting about her skincare brand on social media, you can directly see how she creates a parasocial relationship with her audience. She made it feel like her skincare brand was a team effort that her audience was equally involved in. For example, filming the launch of her skincare brand, she was talking like it was such an exciting thing for everybody, that her audience should be just excited for this as she was, showing how everyone was active in the launch all around the world, creating this sense of community and involvement. We're all in this together. What are they all in this together for? Making Anna Paul rich.
It's 20 minutes till Pauly's skin launches, and look at this. Have it up on the screen so we can see live. There's 10,000, it just hit 10,000. There's 10,000 people waiting right now. Oh, it dropped. Guys, where are you going? Come back. There we go. Sorry. But yeah, there's 10,000 of you waiting. Oh, hello. Okay, 10 seconds in. The number's climbing. You guys are all on the website. This is insane. What? I launched at 5 p.m. Look at everyone on the website right now. That's insane. It's been 2 minutes and there's 30,000 people on the website. What? I can't believe it. That's crazy. That is all of you guys right there live. What? That's crazy. What? Oh my god. We're 4 minutes in and the set box just sold out after 4 minutes. I don't know what to do. This is crazy. It's 5:07 and we're nearly sold out. Like all sold out. Okay, we have sold out. That happened so quickly. What? I did not expect that. How? What?
The set box sold out in 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Yeah.
It was gone. What? That is insane. And everything all up. I don't know. 7 minutes for the whole website to sell out.
And yet that worked. The brand sold out quickly. So it's fair to say that Anna Paul knew her audience well. Anna had a huge following and she priced her skincare affordably. All products were priced under $30 and could be purchased separately or as a set. But the thing is, when you look at all the factors of the brand Pauly, the bright colors of the packaging, the affordability of the products, the cutesy promotional photos, it becomes very clear that Pauly is being sold to a young audience. And then because Anna Paul is selling her skincare to her own audience, it also makes it very clear that Anna's own audience is very young. She and the news sources that she interviews for maybe unknowingly admits this in a few interviews talking about the launch of her brand. In Anna's interview with InStyle talking about the launch of Pauly, she says, "When we were in development, people would say, this is a very simple skincare routine." And I was like, yes, exactly. Keenly aware of the demographic of her following, she knew that if she started creating skincare products with actives in them, the Sephora teens who follow her would buy them, even if she told them not to. One of the earliest decisions we made was that whatever comes out needs to be safe for everyone. Does this further admit that the majority of Anna's following is young teen girls? Another article from the Australian Fashion Journal. Most recently, Anna's made her foray into the world of beauty with Pauly, a vibrant, accessible skincare line designed with her dedicated Gen Z fan base in mind. But controversy arose when customers took to social media to ask why their orders hadn't arrived after several months. Australian mom Hayley Ryder took to the Outspoken podcast and posted on their Facebook group to ask if anyone had heard back from the company. So I made a Pauly order for my daughter for Christmas. When Anna did the promotion just before Christmas where you would have a chance at winning something, I didn't care for that. The products were on my daughter's wish list. I'm still waiting on the order. It hasn't even been shipped yet and everything is sold out online. It has been for weeks. I thought they just missed my order somehow, as I know it would have been a crazy time for them. But I've just come across this TikTok. Turns out it's more than just me waiting for my order. Hayley linked a TikTok of several angry customers complaining that they hadn't received their order. Most small businesses that are just starting up, especially ones dealing with a massive influx of customers, can initially deal with some supply chain issues. Instead of focusing on this aspect and the quality of her business, Anna continued to promote Pauly Skin to her followers through promoting these gift giveaways on her social media, saying essentially, if you purchase from her business, you might receive a gift.
Okay, I've made it to the warehouse and you clearly loved when I went shopping for you last time, so I'm gonna do it again and I'm gonna go even crazier and even bigger. So what I've done is I've locked the website until Thursday 5 p.m. And if you're wondering how I'm gonna choose you, you'll see on the checkout page there's a little question box and I want you to tell me what you want me to get you, okay? Just tell me anything, okay? And I'm really excited to read all your answers, so see you on Thursday.
Anna then encouraged all of her followers to start posting on social media if they received a gift, as a way not only to promote her skincare, but to promote her kindness and generosity.
If you receive a gift, please post about it. I want to see it. Tag me something. Send it to me. I want to see you fun part, obviously, I want to see. And number two, you're going to have people in my messages saying, I have not seen anyone receive any gifts, Anna. This is obviously a scam. And as you can imagine, we had a crazy amount of orders. We have nearly finished sending them all, but not quite yet. We should be done by the weekend. We should have all the orders out. And we're still filling them with gifts. So like we're doing it over the course of a long time, you know? It's just, there was a lot of orders, so we're taking a little bit longer to get them all out. But we're working every single day in that warehouse to get them out to you, and we're still putting the gifts in. And yeah, I just have to say that. But anyway, I just want to say that. So number one, if you received a gift, please post it. And I'm gonna be on my couch now with my face mask on. Bye.
That kind of feels like it goes against the purpose of a giveaway, to be asking for promotion of your company across social media in return. It also seems like Anna Paul may have posted about the giveaway in too positive or vague of terms, not clearly defining and outlining the terms and conditions of the giveaway, because some followers felt scammed or disappointed when they bought from her business and didn't receive anything.
Just had my Anna Paul order arrive and I got nothing. All the way from New Zealand. I never see any New Zealanders getting any goodies or any like cool giveaway stuff. And so I go and make an order, write my sob story, which is, you know, facts, just to be sent not even a box or not even anything, just literally like the packaging, not even the box. So I guess Merry Christmas to me.
I don't think Anna was very clear on whether or not everyone would receive at least something from her business or just a select few and what you'd be receiving exactly, which made a lot of people feel very scammed. The facade of Anna Paul was beginning to crack, the nice veneer revealing a greedy interior. But things were about to spiral downward when Anna's ex-friend came forward. Anna Paul's fame was at an all-time high. She went on a red carpet and vlogged the experience.
This was my first ever red carpet event. I forgot my lines, I messed up, I didn't read the teleprompter thing, and I went completely off script on stage in front of everybody. On the drive there, I was very excited to meet everyone because I have not met any influencers in real life ever. I've met like maybe 3, so I was really excited to say hello to heaps of different people.
While on the red carpet, she was interviewed and asked if you could be another influencer, who would you be? Anna's response, she would be someone who's really, really rich.
If you could be another content creator for 24 hours, who would it be?
Someone who's super, super, super rich. Nah, like super, super, super rich. I'd get on a jet, I'd get on a yacht, I'd get on a helicopter.
Don't you do that though?
Kind of, yeah. I guess so.
This response rubbed many people the wrong way. First of all, Anna herself is really, really rich. It was also a very tone-deaf response that didn't fit with the online persona that Anna had built up, of being kind, coming from a humble background, and giving to her fans. It seems that this interview may have set things in motion for people to have been more receptive to those who have come out with allegations of negative experiences with Anna Paul. In the past, when people had spoken out against Anna Paul and her inner circle, she mobilized her fan base to go against them. But now, for whatever reason, people were ready to listen. And at this time, one of the first people to speak out against Anna Paul, at the exact time that people were ready to listen, was her ex-best friend, Michaela Testa.
Hey y'all, I'm here with my best friend. Best friend, Sean. Okay, I'm next, best friend.
And many of the things she claimed completely shocked the internet. Anna and Michaela were close friends for several years. Michaela dated Anna's younger brother, Addis Paul, which we will get to him, don't even worry. And Anna and Michaela lived at the same house for a period of time as well, which even led many to believe that the two were sisters.
Also, a lot of people get confused, but she is my brother's girlfriend. So we're not blood sisters, but I call her my sister.
Both Michaela and Anna Paul were influencers who post similar content, and both of them did OF. They had similar styles, similar looks. Then in May of 2022, Michaela broke up with Addis. In an interview with the White Fox After Hours podcast, Michaela described the breakup as hell.
Oh my god, it was hell.
Yeah.
Like, it was seriously hell. Like, I had never been through something so bad ever. Like, I literally don't even want to tear up. Obviously, like, you know, had never really had a relationship until I met this person, and you know, my life became his. I have no family, his family was my family. It's just like the pain that I experienced, just remembering being so like shit. Yeah. At the time,
Michaela also opened up about her plastic surgery, which she'd previously been dishonest about online. After Michaela's breakup with Addis, she not only claimed that Addis often preyed on her insecurities, encouraging her to get a BBL, but that he also encouraged her to lie about it to the public.
I feel like there's lots of rumors about me lying and like not being honest. I just want to say while we're here, I wasn't honest. This is like the first time I'm ever admitting it. Really? I wasn't honest. Yes, I did lie. I lied about my BBL at the beginning. You know, I was with somebody at the time that was telling me not to tell the truth. So I've always wanted to tell like the truth, but I couldn't. And because I lied once, I had to keep going on with this lie. And then, you know, once the breakup happened, I was like, yep, I got a BBL. And obviously like me getting the surgery in the first place was like due to insecurities caused by being in that relationship. Obviously I was going to listen to him with that whole ordeal.
Why did you get a BBL? You did not need it at all. You were already fit. I was in a long-term relationship and became insecure when my twig roach boyfriend would like, share, and repost all of these IG models with these giant fake butts, and not the natural looking kind. Suggestive comments would get thrown around to me, and I decided to get surgery because I didn't see any other way out of my depression because of this and insecurities with not feeling like I was enough for him. I already had a giant natural butt and literally no body fat and was fit, so I had to gain 10 kilograms so I could even be close to my doctor to even perform the surgery. I got declined twice because I didn't make the percentage and weigh-ins.
If your boyfriend likes photos and videos of girls with huge butts on the internet, then this video is for you. But my ex-boyfriend would like photos of Jeanette Guzman, the Instagram model. When I discovered this, and we had just started dating, when I discovered this, I would cry every night. I would devalue myself.
On the White Fox After Hours podcast, Michaela also claimed that her and Anna were still friends and in contact even after the breakup at the time the podcast took place.
With Anna and I, like, we're always going to be friends. I feel like there's never a reason for us, like, not to be friends. Anna and I were friends before Addis and I started dating. Obviously, Addis and I knew each other first, but Anna's a lovely human being, and obviously love her forever, and I'm always here for her. And yeah, we're still friends, like we still text each other and stuff, and you know, she's texted me saying like she wants to hang out in Europe, and like I've texted her like advice, just, you know, every now and then.
That being said, from what Michaela had alleged about her relationship with Addis Paul, it seemed that a lot of serious things had taken place behind the scenes. Yet Anna remained silent, always stood beside Addis Paul. That may have been enough to cause things to sort of brew and heat up. So by January of 2025, a few years after the breakup, things changed. And it seemed that Michaela was finally at a place where she was able to speak about it. The red carpet event where Anna said she wanted to live a day as a really, really rich influencer when she already has a net worth of $6 million, coupled with the fact that she was doing scammy OF giveaways with the young demographic that she seemingly has, was enough to send Michaela Testa over the edge and cause her to speak publicly, sharing her years of experience dealing with the Paul family.
And to this day, this is how she responds when somebody's asking her, who would you like to be for a day if you could be any influencer?
And if you could be another content creator for 24 hours, who would it be?
Someone who's super, super, super rich.
She never was broke, and she still believes in her head right now that she is broke because she can't just hop on a jet real quick. Watching this video when I first saw it on my TikTok feed, I looked at it and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that Anna had finally, accidentally, I think, because she was so nervous, exposed some of who she really is and how she really is behind the freaking TikTok.
While earlier in this video, we've already discussed Michaela Testa's statements on Anna Paul's scammy OF giveaway, aka a legal lottery where she roped her underage, possibly, fans into subscribing into her 18+ OF in the hopes of winning one of her cash prizes, as well as some of Michaela's statements on Hans Paul, the way the Paul family treats him and him living in a van. Michaela released even more statements on Anna Paul, the way that she operates her business, and her true nature. Michaela claimed that Anna is a completely different person behind the scenes and treats her fans terribly.
There's a lot of things wrong with Anna Paul. It's way easier to hate me for calling her out when she's wrong than accepting that the Anna you guys love and idolize so much never existed. You don't know her. You don't know her like I know her. You have never met her, and if you have, it's nothing more than a 5-second selfie. These people that watch her don't know the Anna that I know. They know the other Anna, the one she wears when the camera starts rolling. I can't blame the parasocials because I too would do the same for someone that I looked up to. But my experience with Anna was a lot different to all of you. Mine was a real experience. Everything Anna does is calculated, but she masks the manipulation extremely well with an innocent sweet girl facade, posting all of these videos about self-love and body positivity.
She also claimed that Anna's love for the body positivity movement was purely for clout. Michaela recalled a specific incident where Anna meets a plus-sized fan. After hugging the fan, Anna allegedly turned to her brother Addis and called the fan fat and sweaty.
Right before these videos were trending in 2021 on the South Bank Bridge, when you were peak body positivity, love yourself version of Anna, a plus-sized fan came up to you and asked for a hug and a picture. You smiled at her. You told her that you loved her. She told you how your words online have helped her be more comfortable in her body. The moment she walked away, you told Addis that she was annoying and gross and you didn't want to agree to the hug because she was fat and sweaty. Addis laughed. These were your words, Anna. I heard them.
Michaela claimed that Addis, throughout their relationship, abused her physically, financially, emotionally. Though it seems concerns over this initially would be swept under the rug as the general public focused on all the claims made by Michaela directed towards Anna Paul.
I have never spoken truth to the internet because it isn't pretty. Everything I say going forward is the truth and will hold up in a court of law. Addis Paul has physically abused me multiple times when I tried to leave him. He would hurt himself and threaten his life to scare me into not leaving. As a result of what was happening to me, I would get UTIs, and that in turn has permanently affected another internal body part. I'm undergoing surgery in February to correct my body as I have debilitating health issues as a result. When this happened, our relationship plummeted and I couldn't be the same. Does this sound like a person that I would be obsessed with or want back? I left the wrath of that.
Don't worry, we'll be returning to Addis Paul and all of his allegations in a dedicated section of this video. Michaela then claimed that Anna Paul lied about being poor, claiming she knew of Anna's childhood home.
In my opinion, it seems the Paul siblings have scamming running through their blood, and I'm not sure why, because they were raised with amazing parents that provided a lot for them. Their dad making triple the average Australian income per week had them living in a beautiful house on the water with a built-in pool. I've seen the house in person. It's beautiful. Being upper middle class is not being poor, Anna. I was a real victim of the system and poverty like you portrayed yourself online. But you need this story, faking your poverty, so people excuse your schemes and wealth and feel bad for you.
People were completely shocked, and these allegations made mainstream headlining news. Eventually, Anna responded in her own video. In my opinion, a lot of Anna's response shows how well she can twist a narrative. Anna starts out the video by saying that she rarely responds to allegations made against her, but that this time things had gone a little bit too far.
If I made a video addressing every time anyone said anything bad about me, I would be posting all day long every single day, as would every other content creator. That's what the whole For You page would be filled with. But I think we can all agree that this has gotten a little bit big and a little bit much, so now here I am.
She also claims that Michaela was her friend and blindsided her with all of this.
This all took me by surprise, and it was a very big shock to me because somebody that I thought was my friend and that I was close with really hurt me. And 2 months ago she was asking me to go to Fiji with her on a girls trip, and last year when my dad was apparently homeless and that was going everywhere crazy on TikTok, she was the one helping me through it, sending me voice messages telling me, don't listen to the people online, they're dumb, everyone is stupid, tell Papa it's gonna be okay, I hope Papa's okay, don't tell him not to listen. She was helping me. So now this has all come as a very, very big shock and surprise because I thought we were friends.
In my opinion, when Anna says this, she's playing the victim card right out the gate, trying to gain online sympathy right away instead of respectfully addressing each individual allegation, which are very serious claims about how Anna Paul treats her fans and has handled her platform that she's been afforded. To claim that you have been blindsided by a close friend feels like a mischaracterization, considering that Michaela hasn't been a consistent person in Anna Paul's videos for years. So it doesn't really seem like the two of you are that close. Yet Anna immediately spends the first part of this video talking about how she's been affected by this, instead of addressing the real root of harm and hurt, which is the audience's impact by her actions. Anna then went on to claim that she never called her fan fat, but that she could have possibly called a fan sweaty when she hugged them and they were sweaty.
So the first thing I want to address is that apparently in 2021, a fan came up to me and we hugged. And after she walked away, I said, oh my God, she was so fat and sweaty. Now, I do not call my fans fat. That is not who I am. That is not what I stand for. That's not what I've ever stood for. Sweaty, however, I may have called her sweaty because when somebody is wet and they touch you and then they leave, and when you're with your best friend and you are now wet because of them, you may say, I am now wet.
I'm not saying that this is what Anna Paul is doing in this instance here, though we know for a fact that Anna Paul often uses the word fat, which we'll cover in the next chapter. But from my research, there is a tactic that liars do called half concealment. Half concealment is admitting only part of the truth, allowing the liar to maintain the lie without ever saying anything untrue. For example, hypothetically speaking, if Anna Paul did in fact call a fan fat and sweaty, but doesn't want to admit that, wants to lie but still sound like she's saying the truth, she could twist it by utilizing half concealment, saying, well, I may have said the fan was sweaty. One of the major allegations made by Michaela was that Anna lied also about growing up poor, which was a huge part of her brand. It's bizarre that someone could lie about their entire upbringing. And in response, Anna gave the now infamous explanation that she felt broke because at times her family couldn't afford school uniforms or couldn't afford groceries, and that made her feel broke, even if in actuality her family wasn't.
I do not lie about the fact that I grew up broke. When I say I grew up broke, that is my experience. That is how I felt. When I can hear my parents talking in the kitchen that the budget for the groceries that week is $30, it makes me feel broke. When we can't afford school uniforms, it makes me feel broke. When I'm 11, when I'm 10, and all my friends can afford something and my parents can't, it makes me feel broke. When they say, oh, I don't know how we're going to afford rent next week, that makes me scared and makes me feel broke. That does not mean that I was the most broke person on earth. There are definitely people in way worse situations than me, but that does not mean that I'm lying about the fact that I felt broke during those times.
And the Oscar goes to, so all of these years, when she was saying a rags to riches story, none of that was true. But in her mind, it was okay because the entire time growing up, at certain moments, she had felt broke. So it was okay to claim that she had come from a poor background. The way Anna words that entire explanation, almost claiming that poor is a mindset, as if she's trying to explain that the physical experience of poverty is something that can be emotionally felt, therefore trying to utilize the emotional manipulation of her audience, further shows just how keenly aware Anna is of how you can twist a story or try to utilize emotionally charged language in your favor. But poverty is an experienced reality. It is not just a feeling or an emotion. In her response video, Michaela had allegedly tried to leave a comment, but her comment ended up being blocked or deleted. Though Anna Paul claimed this didn't happen, Michaela claimed this did happen. This comment was, Anna, please do not try to paint me as a liar. I will come with receipts. Do not make me come on here with it all. You said what you said, and you said it in entirety. I thought we were friends too, until your friends have come to me with everything you've been saying about me the entire time. I reached out because I thought we were friends. We weren't. You are fake and this doesn't cut it. I care about children and you're extorting them. Many people also described Anna Paul's video as highly out of touch. She described wanting to live as an influencer who's really, really rich for a day, and then described poor as a feeling, one on top of each other, shattering the image and the brand that she'd built, and this caused her to lose hundreds of thousands of followers. Michaela discussed how she can provide all of the evidence, and she went on to do just that. Michaela made another call-out TikTok video talking about how Anna Paul, on top of all of the other claims, completely neglects her pets. Anna has been documented constantly getting new pets, But at the same time, she's constantly posting travel vlogs. And many of these new pets that Anna Paul gets don't make further appearances after she posts the initial video getting her new pet. Fans themselves started to notice this phenomenon.
Anna Paul, we need to talk about your bird. You had a video where your cats were playing with your bird. Now, it might seem cute and it might seem adorable, but cats are predators and birds are prey for a reason. Like, it's in a predator's DNA to have that attacked instinct, to have that hunting, preying instinct, you know? So it only takes one slip up, one teeny tiny slip up. There was also another video I saw on your Snapchat stories where your bird appeared to be playing with some kind of lighter. In the video, whatever it was, your bird was playing with it and it pulled out something from the object that it was playing with. It looked like a screw, if it was, that runs the risk of heavy metal poisoning.
Michaela claimed that Anna would frequently acquire new birds, up to 5 at one point in the same house, but that on top of that, she was constantly acquiring new pets, to the point that one of their old residences fell into disrepair.
Anna just buys animals like handbags. Like, she'll entertain the animal for a short period of time, and then she'll kind of pass it off to a family member, and then she'll buy another one the next year, and then it'll happen again. The cycle will repeat. It'll be all sorts of species. Because she had Rainbow, which was a bird that she had outside. She had Sunshine, which was this yellow bird. She had Konya, which was a Konya parrot, and she had Quakesy, which is this green parrot. As well as just 3 dogs. She had BB, Ninja, and Angel. The dogs would be pissing all over the house. They weren't trained. This was the first house we were at called the Promontory. We also called the house the Pimentory. And it got demolished, I believe, because of the amount of urine that was in the fucking house, that they probably just couldn't get rid of the smell, so they had to, like, demolish it.
Then when Anna was at a new place, she gave away her dogs, but got 2 cats along with all of her birds that she had. Cats and birds don't tend to mix very well, and this led to her neglecting her birds.
So she had 5 birds. She kept buying cats. They just kept growing. The collection of cats, like, they had like 3 hairless cats at one point. So there was just too many cats in the house. It's just not the energy to have like a bird, a vulnerable bird sitting up on the freaking outside the cage, you know? The door was shut in the room. So at all the same time, you've got 5 birds, you've got 3 cats, another dog when BB and Ninja are sleeping in the fucking van with Papa, because you don't want them anymore when you bought those dogs.
Of course, not all the time, but often it seems like bad pet owners have this idea of constantly getting new pets because they like the idea of the cute new pet, but they don't like the actual reality of caring for the animal. So instead, they neglect the animal and favor just getting a brand new pet.
Anna would constantly buy new birds, and I mean a new bird almost every 6 months or so. She even had 5 birds at one point.
Michaela claimed that Anna would just neglect her birds, keeping them in a cage in a room with no windows until she wanted to film with them.
This woman does not care for her birds. Unless they're in a TikTok video, they sit in a cage. I witnessed this for many years. And when she bought cats, she never went in the room. She bought a new bird probably a month ago and she posted it on social media. So when I saw this, I was sick to my stomach.
When Anna had her 5 birds, most of their life was spent in a cage in a room with no windows.
Someone commented yesterday that they came over to the place to change the smoke alarms. And I know this is true because I was there. And I'm just going to put the comment here. My partner put smoke alarms at her house when they all lived together in one of the wardrobe rooms with no windows with so many birds in cages. He said it was the most bizarre experience. So true, because that room was a wardrobe. This is a true comment. I lived in the house. I saw it. And if people want to say, Michaela, why didn't you do anything? I did. I would actually cry to Addis. I would actually take the birds out of the cages and be the only one that has ever seen them or touched them with my eyes for months at a time.
Michaela's TikTok garnered the attention of Angela Hammond, who's a TikToker and bird owner. She called for action.
We need to have some sort of an RSPCA or welfare check done on these birds. This has nothing to do with bullying. This has nothing to do with taking sides. This has to do with the health and welfare of those animals.
After Michaela Testa came forward with her claims, more people verified her statements that Anna Paul was a mean girl who used people. Members of Anna Paul's old friend group and group chat came forward, claiming that Anna Paul was manipulative behind the scenes, called people names, and gossiped about them behind their backs.
The only people that can take down
Anna Pauly for the evil, lying, narcissistic, manipulative bitch that she is are people that actually knew her, which are me, Chloe, Chantel, Michaela, and Lilith. I remember you sent me a photo of this girl you were having lunch with from high school or some shit, and then you were just complaining about her, that she looks like shit, that all she talks about is X, Y, and Z, and I remember saying to you, wow, you know, like, I like to talk about X, Y, and Z sometimes. I hope that you don't talk shit behind my back to your other friends. And she goes, what? No, I would never, like, you know, I love you too much. No, I f***ing don't. Because you're an evil, manipulative, lying, narcissistic, abusive.
Another person named Lilith made a video about the group chat, reacted to by the Do We Know Them podcast.
Anna and I actually hung out a few times as well. We went shopping, we got our lips done, and we also went to the beach as well. Addis was there taking photos of Anna and I, and also for our OF as well.
Weird. So that was weird. Like, if you look in Lilith's comments, the main sentiment is, pardon, her brother took your fan pictures. Essentially, she says that they had that group chat and then they had a kind of like tight-knit friend group. Everybody got along and it was all fine until they went to this festival. She then says that she spoke to Addis about this and the falling out of the friendship, and then this is what he said.
I did say in the live, basically he said I wasn't good enough, because at the time that's how I felt, because I was just really confused about the words that he used. The message reads, just to make it clear and clear it up for you properly, the girls gave you a chance to let you in the friend group for 2 weeks. They feel you do not get along with them and that you do not suit being friends with them, and they would rather not be friends with you.
Are we middle school? Hello?
Literally?
You don't suit. They gave you a chance.
Not the 2-week friend trial.
No,
what the f are you talking about?
Literally saying they gave you a chance to enter the friend group. Like, what are you, Drake? No friend? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
I just love their commentary about how weird this friend dynamic was. As if Anna Pauly was Regina George and Addis was Gretchen, and they're holding auditions for friends who have to prove their worth. Yet we're supposed to believe Anna is a nice person. Some group chat messages were released, allegedly from this group chat and other group chats, and allegedly showing Anna's messages that paint her in a pretty negative light. Someone saved Anna's voice message where she encourages a group chat to go into someone's social media and comment negative things about that person's appearance. This person was believed to be a woman named Alice, someone who was making SA allegations against Anna's brother Addis at the time.
Don't save this voice message, but we should make fake accounts. After this is all done, we should make fake TikTok accounts and just comment on her appearance on her TikToks. All the mean shit, all the things that she would be insecure about, we should just go into detail and comment the hate so that she knows that she is really that ugly. Like, those are the type of comments that make you stay awake at night, those types of comments where you're like, are my arms really fat? Is my nose really that ugly? Like, we should really go in, really specific.
Texts also surfaced where, surprise, surprise, Anna Pauly is calling various people fat in group chats. Clearly, Anna Pauly has a fixation on the word fat and probably has her own internal issues with that word. Look at how fat she's gotten. We should ask him, because he's way too fat for what he apparently eats. The only difference now is it's gonna feel 100 times better when the fat bitch sees you leaving the country soon. What a body positivity queen. Once again, considering Anna Pauly's demographic, which has been proven time and time again in this video, in my opinion. These messages Anna sends to one of her friends containing child pee are also very concerning. They're also just very creepy and weird. Anna Pauly says she's gonna send Lilo and Stitch child pee. Her friend asks her not to send them. Even if it's all in a joking manner, her friend is not consenting to having this sent in a chat, and Anna still sends it. Some fans and online commenters even noticed Anna's different persona and personality in real life when they'd met her in person. A Redditor claimed Anna completely ignored them when spotted. This is how they typed it, and I'm just going to read it as typed. I seen her in the GC once at the car park in Pack Fair. She lifted the hood of her hoodie over her head and walked walked off with her brother as she seen me approaching, saying, "OMG, it's Anna, hey." Glenn literally stopped and had a chat with me while she kept walking, despite the fact I was clearly wanting to speak with her. She's a disgusting human, and not just for that, for the entire fake act she puts on. Another person claimed they knew someone who worked with Anna. My friend did some work for her and said she's nothing like she appears on socials, and really dislikes her for that fact. Rude, no charisma, very disinterested. Another Redditor claims, I met Anna Paul while I was working at a vaccination center for the COVID vaccines. I worked there as a nurse. On that day, I was stationed in the observation section. This is where patients go post-vaccine to monitor for any reactions. I saw her and went up to her to say hello, and she literally said to me, "Your job looks really boring." Like, thanks? I was so shocked when she said that to me. She was very snobby that day. One of Addis Paul's exes, Jamaia, released a statement to Michaela Testa, stating that Anna Paul hates her fans from her experience being around Anna.
I looked over at Anna and she didn't turn her head once. The fan came up to me and said, "Hi, is that Anna?" I tapped her on the shoulder to get her attention, only then did she turn around. Later, her and Addis both told me to ignore fans that call out her name. I remember thinking that it was so sad. Even though I am a very shy person, I would sometimes smile at them to let them know they were acknowledged, even though I knew they could care less about me. She would say how her fans were so annoying, and she would always make fun of what they said, and if they stumbled on their words.
Jamaia also described how Anna calculates and plans out her TikToks.
In the end, Anna is a calculated businesswoman. She knows what works for social media. If anyone remembers the TikTok she posted of her walking to Turkey in a white dress, just know she knew exactly what she was doing. We all stood to the side for maybe 30 minutes or more. I never had a problem with waiting for Anna to film for videos, just giving a time frame. While Anna and Americ walked up and down the street to get the perfect take. She then showed me the video and said, "See, that man is looking at me." All the comments will be saying, "Oh my god, look at that guy in the back checking her out." And she was 100% correct. After it was posted, she showed me the comments and everything she said was there. She knew people would find the men looking at her creepy, and she knew they would comment about it, and she knew it would boost the algorithm. She's smart with what she does. This romanticization of men staring at her as she walks alone in the streets of Turkey is not something to look up to or content I perceived as self-love or empowerment.
In late March of 2025, Michaela uploaded her first podcast episode in a 3-part expose series where she unpacked her relationship with Anna Paul, her relationship with Addis Paul, and her experience with the Paul family. In episode 1, she further disputed Anna's claims of growing up poor.
When I say I grew up broke, that is my experience. That is how I felt.
Broke is a feeling. It's a feeling now, guys.
I know what it's like to grow up with no money on Christmas. You know, my parents spent their last $20 on prawns so that we could have like a nice meal. My brother and I, we used to wrap plastic bottles, like orange juice bottles, and put them under the tree so it looks like we have a lot of presents like other families. So I know what it's like.
I grew up extremely broke, and when I say extremely broke, I mean my parents were like, "Bro, we're gonna be homeless." And we're like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" We got food from like the homeless shelters. It was a whole thing.
So is it a broke feeling or is it homeless shelters, Anna? Because that's a fucking lie. That is so ridiculous. You did not grow up broke at all.
While Anna's social media posts about her upbringing often paint a very dramatic story, from rags to riches, in Michaela's podcast, she goes over the evidence.
Yesterday, I bought myself a dream car. 3 to 4 years ago, 3 years ago from 2019 would be like 18, 17, 16. I couldn't even afford to eat. My whole life, I was so broke that my family couldn't even afford food, couldn't even afford rent. I thought I was going to be homeless at one point. Now at 20, I've bought myself my dream car and I'm so proud of myself. I've been in the house with Hans Paul while he's sitting there in the lounge room saying, "Anna, this is lies. Why would you post this stuff? You know that it's not true." And, you know, calling her out for her BS.
This is their house. This is where they grew up. See where the pool is? Stuff like that. But, like, I mean, it's a nice house.
And here's the childhood photos of them being in this house, which is the exact same house that you just saw on the video. 19th of January 2015, iPhone 6, fresh set of nails, a watch. You've got a Tiffany & Co bag. You've got the PlayStation 4 when it just came out in 2014. You've always got a Tiffany necklace on. You've got the brands. That's what gets me. You've got the Michael Kors watch. You've got the Celine shirt in 2013. Endless Ralph. You've got a Louis Vuitton custom. And I can see the packaging in the background. Wallet, Apple Watch, more Tiffany rings. I mean, you've always got a fresh set, as I just said before. YSL, a watch, and this is all 2013 2014 and 2015. You're taking photos in the same house, the waterfront house that you were in when I just showed you as an infant child, and it's 2014. Obviously, the rent was being paid, and you were living in this nice island waterfront house this entire time.
Michaela's conclusion is that Anna Paul is doing all of this, claiming to have come from humble beginnings on social media, because while posting about a luxurious lifestyle on social media brings in the views, it's flex culture, it often brings in the hate as well. Anna tried to combat this by claiming that she was once poor, so no one can hate on her for flexing off her wealth that she's accumulated now.
She's really rattling on and riding on this I'm broke thing so that she can excuse flexing on her story.
Michaela also touched on Anna having denied ever using the word fat when referring to a fan, claiming that's not what she stands for, which we know now Anna allegedly, seemingly used the word fat a lot. Michaela claims this as well, saying that Anna used the word fat all the time.
Said, oh my god, she was so fat and sweaty. Now, I do not call my fans fat. That is not who I am. That is not what I stand for. That's not what I've ever stood for.
I heard her call that fan fat. She called that fan fat. And fat was a word that she used very often.
Michaela also briefly touched on Anna's relationship with Glenn, saying that Anna fat shamed Glenn very often.
Glenn, and I apologize for saying this, but Anna, behind Glenn's back to me and my entire friend group that we had, you know, Anna, me, Lilith, Chloe, Bailey, she would call Glenn fat on the daily.
One of the strangest situations that Michaela brought up is that Anna often made fun of or made jabs at Michaela's close-set eyes. Michaela ended up becoming incredibly insecure about her close-set eyes because of Anna's constant comments about it. Anna even allegedly went out of her way to comment on other women on social media's close-set eyes.
They were talking about how Erica's eyes are so close-set, Erica Titus and Kirsten Titus or something like that. Anna was talking about it and she said, oh my god, her eyes are so fucking close together too. Like, ha 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 ha. And then I noticed that Anna had looked at me while she kind of said that. And then she looked at Addis. And then she looked down and she had like this little smile on her fucking face. And I just thought, this woman is trying to fucking hurt me. She's trying to make me feel insecure. She's trying to beat me down because I have close-set eyes. When I tell you I started like going on my phone, getting really insecure, looking at myself in the mirror, drawing eyeliner.
Another bizarre claim made by Michaela is that Attis Paul, Anna's brother, would often shoot Anna Paul's OnlyFans content. Essentially, Anna Paul's brother would shoot her adult content material.
He took all of our content. He took photos of just Anna for her OF. He took photos of just me for mine. He took photos of Anna and I together for OF. And this went on for years. This is a video that Addis had taken back in 2019 that she's still selling in 2023, almost 2024, because it's the 14th of December when I took the screenshot. It's a video of me and Anna doing a collab on the website, which her brother took. He took this photo of Anna and I in 2021, and we're obviously in lingerie, see-through lingerie, white. And when Glenn found out about this photo, was not happy about it.
On this podcast, Michaela continued to talk about how Anna presents a completely false persona online than her real personality. While of course it's common for influencers to present a curated version of themselves online, we do know to a certain extent that social media is fake. It's also the expectation of many fans and followers and viewers that what you're presenting online is at least some essence of yourself. Anna Paul has been celebrated as Australia's influencer sweetheart, which made the revelation of her character behind the scenes even worse. Anna Paul yet again took a break from TikTok and then came back to post a 30-minute explanation video of many of the allegations that Michaela made in her podcast series. This video has been deleted but re-uploaded and reacted to by numerous sources. Anna has denied that she neglected her animals and bought too many in her response video. While Anna couldn't possibly refute the fact that she has as many animals as she has, and it's just sort of up to you to decide whether or not that's negligent to own too many animals and then give away those animals to different family members when you decide you don't want to take care of them.
And my other dog, Baby, we got when I was 17, and she still lives with my dad to this day. Angel and Ninja both passed away from old age a couple of years ago, but baby is still loving life. You can see her on my dad's Instagram. She's loving it. She's happy. I actually have photos. You can see in all these photos that I've never clipped my bird's wings, and I actually know exactly where all my birds are. I had Quakesy, and he passed away last year. Then I had 3 other birds. Now these birds hated each other, so I thought for them to have the best life possible, I'll rehome them. My dad helped me rehome them, and here you can see the dates, you can see everything. This is me rehoming my birds. Oh, and my cat, by the way. Glenn and I bought a cat together, and this cat was Glenn's life. So when we split, we decided that he will live with Glenn along with my dog Prince because they bonded so well.
And then shortly after, buy a new animal. Anna also tried to throw Michaela under the bus, saying that Michaela once gave her cat to a shelter when Michaela realized that she was unable to care for her cat adequately. You know, the responsible thing to do that most experts and people who work in shelters recommend you do.
This whole animal thing is just one huge projection from Michaela. Because the second her cat was a minor inconvenience to her, she had her assistant drive her cat to the closest shelter and dump him. Where is your cat, Michaela? Where was he rehomed to?
Anna tried to claim that Michaela is just after fame through calling out the Pauls. I wanted to note, we'll discuss later, that this is the same tactic that the Pauls have tried to use with one of Addis Paul's accusers when she accused him of SA. They claimed that she was just after fame to try and silence her. Anna tried claiming that Michaela used all of this newfound fame to try and promote her adult content.
While all this drama is going on that she kicked off about her being concerned about my fans and they're all underage and she's so worried, what does she post on her Instagram while all eyes are on her? What does she do? She posts slide after slide after slide on her Instagram story of a link to her other page where you can buy videos of her and her partner having intercourse. And you know what? Since we're out here clarifying absolutely everything, I don't do anything crazy on there. I haven't even shown my bare chest on there. Yet she's so concerned for all my underage fans. How does that make sense? I don't understand.
First off, Anna herself promotes her OF content. In fact, all of this started through a questionable way, very questionable way, that Anna herself was promoting her OF content. Also, Anna used to claim that she was a self-empowered S worker. So to see her shaming Michaela for promoting her OF and doing S work, because in this statement, she claims that Michaela's S work is worse than the S work that she does, just shows how fake her entire act was. That she was co-opting the S worker label just to profit off of it. Meanwhile, she shames S workers and believes that she's better than them. Michaela also tells stories on the podcast that are definitely not sexy and definitely don't paint her in the best light. So if this was all to promote her OF or get famous, that definitely wouldn't be the best way to do so. Instead, she'd be doing it the way Anna Paul does things, framing things in a carefully constructed way, always trying to make her appear in the most positive light. While I don't want to take sides in this, I do want to point out that difference. When discussing the claim of fat shaming her ex-boyfriend Glenn, Anna claimed that weight was just openly discussed in the household without derogatory intent.
Glenn and I have struggled with our weight for a long time. We were trying to eat healthy, but we were just unhealthy. And so was Glenn's father. Until Glenn's father made a change, he started eating very healthy. Glenn's father's diet changed completely. We didn't use the word fat in a derogatory way. It wasn't an offensive word in my household, and it wasn't an offensive word in Glenn's household. Glenn replied and said, just sent it to my dad, and then just sent a photo of the cat.
Anna also claimed that when it came to Michaela's insecurity with her eyes, that she was actually just helping Michaela, that it was Michaela's insecurity, and that she was there being supportive of her friend through constantly discussing this insecurity. To me, it's just weird behavior to discuss any specific body feature with your friend over and over again in any way, whether positive or negative. That's just weird.
Michaela was the most insecure person that I have ever met in my life. She has come out and said that apparently I have said that everybody's eyes are too close together. The thing is that Michaela's eyes were often a topic of discussion for us, and she needed constant reassurance that she was beautiful and that her eyes were beautiful. Now she needed constant reassurance for her own beauty, which I always gave her, and she said, do I look like her without eyeliner? And I reassured her. I said, no, not even close.
Anna ended her TikTok with a voice memo from Michaela, where Michaela said essentially she wanted Anna to stop posting videos and felt that Anna had stolen her life away from her.
My goal is to make sure she doesn't fucking post a thing. Because remember how I told you she would always copy me, she would always steal my stories, steal my personality, everything, the car idea, all of that. She stole it from me. I'm supposed to be the one with 7 million followers. I'm going to be vlogging after this, and everyone's going to need someone to watch because everyone's addicted to watching her, that they're going to watch me. And I'm going to live that life that I should have had. And this doesn't come from jealousy. This just comes from a siphoning energy bit.
While the voice memo is certainly petty, this is a long-standing friendship with many things that had happened behind the scenes, which I'm sure the public will never know all the ins and outs of. And I'm also sure that these two women both are not perfect. And the voice memo could certainly be painted as Michaela having done all of this just to throw Anna Paul under the bus. It had been said in Michaela's own podcast that Michaela had felt that Anna Paul had stolen a lot of elements of Michaela's own life story through crafting this sort of social media online narrative. Michaela had grown up poor with an addict mother, 7 siblings, a difficult and abusive upbringing. She had felt like much of her own upbringing Anna started stealing elements of, all because Anna noticed it garnered views. So it was frustrating to see her get away with that. Feel like her life was being stolen from her, and then behind the scenes she had to put up with so much abuse from this family. Yet they were becoming rich and famous and beloved by an entire world. And yet all of these claims Anna's made about Michaela, that she's not to be trusted, all of these defenses is to distract from the real story. The real claims that Addis, Anna's younger brother, Michaela's ex-boyfriend, abused Michaela and his other ex-girlfriends for years. Before we discuss Addis Paul, I want to give a huge trigger warning. This is definitely going to be the most upsetting chapter of the entire Anna Paul family saga, with topics of SA and abuse of every single kind, essentially. While Addis Paul has been mentioned throughout this story as being a prominent figure and involved in Anna Paul's social media, and I've mentioned his leading up to this moment, I wanted to dedicate a sole chapter to Addis Paul to make it very clear that his situation and Anna Paul's situation are separate. The biggest culpability that Anna Paul has in Addis Paul is the fact that she platformed her brother and essentially has been accused of condoning his actions through continually platforming him after his ex-girlfriends have already accused him multiple times. That being said, I really wanted to differentiate that the actions of Addis Paul are Addis Paul's alone, and that the wrongdoing of Anna Paul is that she platformed her brother, but she is not responsible for a man, her brother's actions. On Instagram, you can see how often Anna Paul platformed her brother. He turned his platform and credibility into a way to abuse his victims. And Addis Paul's real name is Johannes Paul, but we're just saying Addis because that's what most people know him as. Though I'll be honest, a lot of the Instagram posts that Anna Paul used to post with her brother are very personal and definitely not something that I would ever consider posting with my sibling. They definitely give very siblings or dating vibes. F with us. Train together, fight together. What are these siblings going into battle for? Teaching him how to take mirror selfies. Yo, welcome, baby. At Addis Paul. But do you really think you can mess with us? How we spent our Saturday night on Valentine's Day. Arm emoji, heart emoji. Anna, you're posting that with your brother? Over the years, there have been so many allegations of Addis being a complete and total creep. But every time a former partner tries to speak out, the Paul family uses every tool they have at their disposal and mobilizes their social media base to silence them and send hate their way. But eventually, the allegations became too much to disprove. Here's a photo of Addis at a pharmacy with a very young-looking girl. And someone posted it with the caption, "This was today at 1 p.m. at Chemist with a girl who looks very young. I was walking out and trying to get a video. This man is known to prey on women on dating apps, uses his sister's fame to impress them, make them sign NDAs, get them so don't really remember. History repeats itself with this person. I'm glad the public is paying attention. This person has been charged with and then accused by 2 other girls. So let's go over the allegations against Addis Paul by his former partners who have chosen to speak out publicly, which I want to note is a very hard thing to do and takes a lot of bravery, not only because of the often internalized shame that you have to overcome, but because of the public backlash you often face, as well as numerous other reasons, which is why many people do not speak out. Alice Patterson was in year 7 and 13 years old when she started dating Addis Paul, who was 16 years old and in year 11. Alice said that Addis began pursuing her when she was only 12 years old, and when she was 13, she claimed he started love bombing her and claiming they were soulmates.
So I was 13 at the time. I really didn't know anything. I was playing a bunch of sports. I never had a boyfriend before, and my friends were my life. That was me. I was a 13-year-old girl. So he gained my trust and he was very sweet to me, but he was playing me the entire time. I didn't even realize. That's the unfair advantage of dating someone older. They have more experience than you. They know what they're doing and they know that you don't know what you're doing. And he used that to get me to be whatever he wanted.
I just thought it was love, she said. His strategy was to convince me that he was going to be my husband in the future. So everything he would tell me to do, I would kind of do, thinking that he had the best of interest for me, but he didn't. Their relationship, which Alice described as coercive, lasted nearly a year. During that time, Alice claimed that Addis controlled her appearance and isolated her from her friends, forbade her from telling anyone about their sexual relationship, while allegedly boasting about it to his gym friends. He wanted her to start dressing older.
He wanted me to dress older, to appear older, to make sure that I was perfect so that I was a great reflection of him. If I want to be around them, I need to be good enough. And I constantly felt not good enough.
When her father became concerned and tried contacting the police, he was told that there was little that could be done. But Alice started spiraling and at 14 years old ended up in the ER. I ended up going to the ER because my thoughts were so bad, and Addis didn't even care. He just completely disregarded that. And then when I came back from that, he just tried to manipulate the situation into getting me to say sorry to him and feel bad. After Alice and Addis broke up, things only got worse. 3 years after the breakup, Alice posted a vague TikTok which highlighted age gap group, but she didn't name Addis specifically. Soon after, Alice received a legal cease and desist letter. Alice said about this letter, "I was disgusted and I just thought, like, his power isn't getting me to stay silent. So the only thing I can do is not be silent." Michaela mentioned on her podcast how the Paul family tried to handle Alice's allegations behind the scenes and how Addis faked this legal cease and desist letter.
He creates a fake brand email, pretend he's looking for brand ambassadors to get access to her address so that he can send her this fake cease and desist that he typed up and printed himself.
She also showed receipts of how Addis talked about his relationship with Alice in a very degrading way.
I was being held back by my dumb ex and I broke up with her and I got rich the week after.
Alice went to the police and provided a detailed statement. Talking to police felt relieving. "I wasn't scared. I said everything." In 2023, Addis, legal name Johannes Theodore Paul, was sentenced in Southport District Court after pleading guilty to 3 counts of carnal knowledge of a child aged 12 to 16. He was placed on a 12-month good behavior bond, and the case was dealt under adult jurisdiction. But even though the court case ended, the online harassment didn't. Alice was publicly labeled a liar by both Addis and Anna Paul. Anna Paul mobilized her online platform to send hate to Alice. In response to Alice's TikToks, the entire Paul family, Michaela included, did a response video discrediting Alice and mobilizing their millions of followers against this person who has no platform and was only trying to speak out about how they were abused, which in my opinion is an abuse of someone's power and platform.
Anna is a liar. She's been proved to lie so many times. She's bullied innocent influencers. She's bullied me when I was 13 years old, and she has bullied Michaela, as well as all of Addis's other victims. And I truly believe if Addis did get away with what he did to me, he would probably still be going for underage girls. He knows that he can't because he'll be going straight to jail.
And it affected Alice's real life. She claimed that after her posts, her best friends abandoned her. She was mocked at school, and she received online death threats. People were mocking, taking all my content, posting it online, quoting my trauma in their Instagram bios, making statuses about me, speaking lies about me. Michaela further backed up Alice's claims, verifying that the Paul family turned their entire fan base against Alice.
Dating dating Addis is a time in my life that has been very detrimental to my mental health and self-esteem. Post healing from the breakup, it took me well over a year to fully recover from all the built-up manipulation, lies, gaslighting I'd been fed and susceptible to.
I had never been character assassinated before. They tried to paint that I was clout chasing and that I wanted fame, which is just so sad to do this to someone. That's not true at all.
You do not comment anything hateful or DM anybody anything hateful, even if it's in my defense. Please, that can kill someone.
Don't save this voice message, but we should make fake accounts, we should make fake TikTok accounts, and just comment on her appearance on her TikToks, all the mean shit, all the things that she would be insecure about. We should just go into detail and comment that hate so that she knows that she is really that ugly. Like, those are the type of comments that make you stay awake at night, those types of comments.
Michaela also showed voice messages and recordings of how behind the scenes Anna Paul planned all of this. She planned the PR of how to navigate everything so that Addis would come out of the situation unscathed.
Say that when something like this blows up, of course more like people will come forward and want to make up stories too, say that don't believe everything you see.
This is her trying to tell us to make a statement. We should make a post. Who's we, babe? He was writing this whole like, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie in full type situation. But I was just thinking, while I was sitting there, that's a little bit truth to this.
Like, you want to paint her out to be a crazy ex, not somebody that is after fame, because yeah, when you're famous and you say someone else just wants your fame, it makes you look a certain way. It makes you look like stuck up and blah, blah, blah. Like, it just doesn't look good.
Of course it doesn't look good.
Michaela also showed behind the scene footage of their response video, where Anna, the main trusted influencer face, did most of the talking and discredited Alice. Behind the scenes, they were planning out what to say and how to spin the narrative.
So I just want to make it very clear that none of us sat there and wrote a letter and, we're gonna harass a little girl. It was not like that at all. So the claim stating that we sent out a letter to a little girl for no reason, so the claim stating that we sent out a letter to a 17-year-old for no reason are completely false. We personally had nothing to do with this letter.
She lied and said we did not know about the letter. With that disgusting, that letter that he sent to her house, it was just, it's so fake and bullshit. Does not come from a real lawyer. The Paul's team. We didn't have a team. We never had a Paul team. Addis was sitting there on his laptop, making the fake email.
There's a Reddit post that shows Anna's blatant hypocrisy when it comes to how she speaks about behavior versus her defense of Addis Paul in her response video, which just goes to show how manipulative Anna Paul is and that she truly stands for nothing.
Like, when I was like in grade 8, I was like, oh my god, all these older boys think I'm hot. I felt so cool. There's nothing cool about that. That's like so pedophile. He graduated in 2017. He was in grade 12 and I was in grade 8. He was in this grade and I was in this grade. Grades do not matter in this situation. The ages matter. But you are manipulating the situation by continuously telling everybody he was in grade 12, he graduated 2017. That doesn't matter. That's just me being honest with you. I was in grade 8. I was 12 and 13 years old, and 16-year-old boys, Anna Paul's hot, I'm going to put Anna Paul on lay-by, I'm going to date her. 17 is so young. I know that the legal age of consent is 16, so I don't really know how it works. But just be careful. There's a reason why he's in his 20s and he's talking to a 17-year-old. And it is most likely because the girls his age don't want him because they can see that he's trash.
Michaela also claimed that Addis sent bots to Alice's Instagram account to make it look like she was after fame and clout chasing.
I watched Addis literally buy bots to her account. He was sending her the bots, trying to get it banned, trying to make her look a certain way. Anna knew about this. Addis did this so that it looks like she's after fame or she's fame hungry.
Eventually, all of this became too much and Alice dropped out of school in year 12. I felt so unsafe and unsupported and just like isolated. The bullying was so intense that I couldn't even walk into the classroom.
I started to internalize all the hate and I started to basically hate myself and self-destruct and self-sabotage, and I feel like it was a combination of things. One, having the whole internet kind of come at you for being a compulsive liar and all that, and then throwing your trauma in your face. Another thing is, the school I was at, I was getting bullied at like relentlessly. It was crazy. Everyone was talking about it in school. I couldn't finish school, especially when everyone thinks that you're like, I was really worried something was going to happen to me, and my mental health was just deteriorating. Like, I suffered with really bad depression and anxiety after that, and I still suffer to this day.
The Paul family even allegedly tried to offer Alice money to silence her.
Also, I wanted to briefly mention that Anna is saying shut up and take the money because Addis actually messaged me through Michaela's account saying, like, offering me $42,000 during a mediation to help resolve the whole thing. Yes, I was 17, $42,000, like that's good money, but I just wanted to let you guys know I didn't take it. I want to remind you guys that they had power, fame, everything.
Now in her 20s, Alice said that she finally found peace. I've been trying to rebuild and heal and not let that pain define me. At the time, I was living on my own and supporting myself. I live independently and I'm healing. For a long time, Alice was the only person to speak out until this year when Michaela, Addis's ex, finally spoke out about her nightmare experiences with the Paul family. And the most prominent experiences was the abuse that she endured at the hands of Addis Paul. When Michaela first met Addis, Addis and Anna were just starting out on social media. Michaela, on the other hand, had 300,000 followers and had inherited a property from her father, who had tragically passed away.
I was making 50,000 Australian dollars on my OF every month. And I had a manager, I had properties that my dad had left me when he passed away tragically in 2018. So when I met these people, Addis did not have a social media following at all. He had 3,000 Instagram followers. He was doing some like e-commerce.
From what it sounds like from Michaela and other friends that Anna had in her friend group at the time, Anna befriended people who were involved in social media and OF, and then observed them and what was working for them at the time, and then adapted different qualities from her friends in her friend group, building up her social media presence off of what was working for other people around her. Addis had also allegedly wanted to start in OF management prior to entering a relationship with Michaela, but being in a relationship with Michaela presented as the perfect opportunity.
He wanted to start an management. Addis was plotting to start his own management. So it was just, yeah, I mean, we didn't know, but the timing, and it was all a plot for, let's see what woman we can get to date my brother so he can take a percentage and we can start a little OnlyFans management here on the coast.
Once Michaela and Addis started a relationship, even though Michaela already had a manager, both Addis and Anna started making comments about how much better Addis would be at managing Michaela.
Addis would kill it on your OF. You should let him manage you.
Soon after, Addis began managing her entire account and taking over everything slowly but surely, so that she had no control over her own business. And then suddenly, he was taking a 50% cut of her OF.
And I'm pretty sure it started with 20, and then every week it would just be going up by 5%. It was just moving up and up and up and up. Like, what kind of boyfriend takes a 50% cut from their girlfriend's OnlyFans?
My dad just died. I had mental disorders. I had a lot of trauma. I was very new to making money. This person became my manager before we even started dating and started taking a large percentage of my income. And then eventually, as time went on, it became 50%.
This is not even close to the system of a traditional management. This is a partner using power and control to financially use someone and exert their power over that person's career, aka digital pimping. Michaela also claimed that Addis would often gamble all the money he received from her or spend it on strange crypto schemes and then ask to take out additional loans from her income.
Gambling away his, and then he was taking loans from me, like, and I'm talking large lump sums of money, like 10, 20k, 30k. He was taking my money and doing investments and trades that were also losing. So I think I had lost $120,000 on plus 500 in the span of a week and a half.
Addis allegedly gave Michaela the advice to not put her income in a traditional savings account and instead to invest her money into crypto. You know, crypto, the thing that's known to be hard to track, and it turns out a lot of her crypto got drained from her wallet.
As I said, he would always gamble, like trade and like crypto, like all this stuff he would do, like all this money making with the 50% he was getting from me. He'd lose money almost every time.
When Michaela realized that Addis was exploiting this situation, the relationship, she would try to cut him off. But then she claimed that he would get incredibly abusive and start to threaten self-harm.
I would say, well, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm thinking of cutting the percentage off. Threats of suicide, fights, domestic abuse would start to happen.
And then when Michaela did try to leave and take her power back, she claimed that Addis became physical.
I kept saying like, no, I'm leaving. Like, no, I'm leaving right now. I'm going to leave. But he's got my arms and he's got my arms so tight and he's shaking and he's, again, smashing me into rolling doors and freaking bedside tables and bed ends that I'm just like...
Some of the details that Michaela describes in this clip may be too upsetting for those who've experienced something very similar, so I won't play the full clip for that reason. Speaking personally, as someone who was in a past relationship where my former partner would threaten repeatedly, it's an extremely traumatizing thing to experience, and I commend Michaela's bravery in speaking about it so openly, because I also think it's a very hard thing to explain or sort through in a relationship. And I think it's important for those who have gone through or are going through something similar to hear that that is not normal and what that sort of behavior can escalate into, or that it is a manipulative behavior that plays on a partner's compassion in order to try and manipulate them into staying in a relationship. And then after those incidents, when Michaela would try to set boundaries over her OF content, Addis would start a fight. And because he likely learned that threatening self-harm was something that would work, he would resort to continually threatening that.
I didn't want to film some certain type of thing. He would get angry at me and start a fight, and then I would want to like leave, and then he would do this and punch himself in the head.
Trigger warning over discretion of rape. Michaela also claimed that Addis R-worded her while she was recovering from her BBL and on medication that would cause her to pass out. This caused her to get such terrible and reoccurring UTIs that she's now suffering from health complications.
And I literally said to him, I said, are you doing something to me while I'm asleep? Am I like really asleep that I didn't know? Can I not feel it? Am I not waking up? Like, is he doing this to me while I'm asleep? And he's literally inside me and I'm getting these infections.
And when Michaela went to her doctor told her to call the cops. She tried to speak to Addis about it, and Addis called her crazy.
I had asked Addis if he did something to me, and he denied it completely. I just became very suspicious. And I told my doctor everything. I told him about the past, about how he would do that to me, like obviously when I wasn't on medication. And he literally told me to call the cops. So obviously after speaking to my doctor, I confronted Addis again and he denied everything. He started to call me crazy.
Because she felt so gaslit, she felt the only thing she could do was catch Addis in the act, so she pretended to be on medication.
I pretended to take my usual sleep meds. He slowly puts his hand on my shoulder to see like if I would respond or react. So I was doing the slow breathing, and then he like starts to take my pants off really slowly.
All of this abuse was happening at the same time that Alice was making her public allegations, which caused Michaela's mental health to completely decline. Michaela claimed that she's been dealing with BPD and that her mental health had significantly gotten worse since that relationship, which she's been working on since. Addis and Michaela broke up in May of 2022. Addis addressed the breakup to his followers, saying, "I've been getting asked so much if Mick and I are still together. We love each other so much and decided to be friends now. Everything is perfect between us. We both agree it's better that way." Michaela said on her report that the supportive messages from people were making her so emotional. "For the 5th time, Addis and I are fine. You guys are making me so emotional. I wish I could hug every single one of you. We will always be in love with each other. We never stopped." Fans after the breakup posted videos about having witnessed public displays of Addis and Michaela playing out toxic and dynamics.
Michaela was really skittish almost. That just gave me flashbacks of when I was with my ex because of stuff.
And after they broke up, Addis allegedly ran out of money quickly. So Addis tried to scam Michaela's various crypto wallets and different side accounts that he'd tried to set up for her while they were in a relationship.
He goes broke. He's suicidal, of course. He actually scammed money out of a bets account of mine, Bet365, and lost 6 grand in one day, which I didn't even know he did this, but I went and found the receipts after. I sent him a message. I said, "You can send me that money back right now before I call the police. Get a job instead of scamming your ex-girlfriend, you freak."
Addis also allegedly tried scamming Michaela's subscribers on her OF account.
On my account, there's a freaking post saying, "Hello, my sweet. I just want to try myself in something interesting. I really want to understand cryptocurrency. I will fulfill all your fantasy, da 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 da." And then it was like a Bitcoin wallet. And I know it's him because who else has the login information on my OF?
I'm ill. These people are sick. Addis is effed, but knowing that Anna knew this and still stands behind him makes my stomach physically sick. Listening to Mick detail how he R-worded her in her sleep while she was recovering from surgery, I don't have words. These people are evil and deserve every single horrible thing coming to them. While all of that was Addis Paul's actions and Addis Paul's actions alone, Anna Paul shouldn't be blamed for her brother's abuse behavior. Michaela did criticize Anna Paul for enabling her brother's actions, because many of these things Anna Paul was aware of behind the scenes, yet she's continued to support her brother both publicly and behind the scenes, give him a platform, give him money, a mansion to live in, other financial means at his disposal, and many other various ways that have enabled his behavior. Michaela believes that Anna prioritized continually Addis's well-being over others. Michaela claimed that Anna Paul would say things to her when she was in a relationship with Addis, like, "You're the only one that can get through to him." No jokes. The things that you say to him could save his life.
She only really cared about her brother because she's always defensive of him. She's always making excuses for his behavior, just enabling it. You know, I would tell her, like, Addis did this to me today, and she'd send me, 10 minutes worth of voice messages here. She'd be like, saying like, "You're the only one that can get through to him. No joke, the things that you say to him could save his life. By changing his mindset now, you could be saving his life of 25-year-old Addis." Like, it's my responsibility to keep this man alive.
Regardless of whether or not Anna did it intentionally or not, it's unfair and emotionally manipulative for family members to hold a partner as solely responsible for their partner's well-being. While of course it's natural for loved ones to be concerned about someone struggling, every person is responsible for their emotional health. And making statements like that can guilt someone into staying in a relationship out of a feeling of obligation rather than genuine love.
I was just a vulnerable person. I did not see what was going on. I was so addicted to the broken and then the quick fix after. I was addicted to that quick fix.
Anna's ex-partner Glenn allegedly sent text messages to Michaela saying that behind the scenes, everything everyone would do was always for Addis, keeping him in check so that Anna was okay. Anna and Addis may be in a codependent relationship. Anna may know that Addis has major issues, but is so enmeshed with him and thinks that she needs him in her life, which is kind of sad if you think about it.
And he said, "Yes, of course I remember. Everything we ever did was for Addis, not for anyone else." Yeah, I don't know Addis's deal. Hey, it was a 27 job. Keeping him in check just so that Anna was all right.
This weird bonded but blind relationship is further proven because when it comes to the claims levied against Addis, Anna blindly defends him. People have noticed and pointed out Anna's negligent loyalty of Addis, which is further problematic considering her predominant following of young girls, and is hypocritical considering her family-friendly brand. Him abusing his partners is not very family-friendly and what Anna has claimed to have stood for. Again, Addis abusing his partners is not very positivity girl boss. I am him. He is me. Well, this didn't age well. If you ever see a photo of me looking at my brother like this, I want you to hit me with your car. In Veruca Salt's previous social media post, she also says something that I think is really well said regarding Anna's involvement with this entire dynamic and how she enabled Addis Paul. Anna purposefully set up Michaela with Addis so that she could clout farm off her, and so Addis could finesse his way into getting 50% off Michaela's earnings. How much Glenn was getting for running Anna's OF? I heard it was $500 per week. I wonder who set that system up. Anna lied to her audience when she was low on subscribers. She told you guys that she filmed videos with Glenn and that Glenn was on her OF, which he's not. This was a bold-faced lie that she has never had any repercussions for. Addis SA'd 2 girls that we know of, and as far as I'm concerned, Anna knew her brother wasn't rapist after he assaulted Alice Patterson. She purposely set her rapist brother up with her friend for money. Anna stole pieces of Michaela's life story, Michaela's morals, and sold it to you guys as her own. Everything you love about Anna, she stole from Michaela. Even after all of this, there was another recent relationship and another ex-partner who came forward to share their story of everything they experienced with Addis Paul. Addis Paul had a relationship with someone named Jamaia, who is autistic as well as disabled, and who posted about her relationship with Addis. Though her original videos are deleted, there are commentary videos that discuss what her content spoke of.
Jamaia is the girlfriend Addis had after he dated Michaela. Jamaia states at the beginning of her video that her and Addis's relationship was always very including the way that they spoke to each other, and she said in the beginning this was all very consensual. She said early on into the relationship, Addis started to disrespect her boundaries. He always wanted to have sex with her, whereas she didn't want to. Addis also made Jamaia sign an NDA for the time that they are together. Now, one of Jamaia's friends got concerned because Jamaia was away traveling a lot with the Paul family, and her friend was worried that she might be being sex trafficked.
Throughout their relationship, there was so much blatant disrespect and abuse, crossed lines and blurred boundaries. You can see a pattern where Addis's behavior is seemingly escalating because he's gotten away with his abuse with very little accountability. Addis allegedly sent Jamaia text messages throughout their relationship like, "It's pathetic watching you desperately trying to get my D down your throat to make me feel good. And it does feel good. Are you glad you make me feel good? I am. You're a good little... I don't know how to go a day without using you. I'm sorry I can't be more available to you. It's so nice to have someone to use and not have to care at all about how hard you're using them. An important thing to know with these sort of message exchanges is it doesn't seem like boundaries were established where this sort of dialogue was okay beforehand, which is important to know, especially with Jamaia being autistic. Instead, it seemed like Addis enjoyed pushing and testing the boundaries of all of his partners beyond what they were ever comfortable with, to constantly see how far he could go, how much he could get away with. What the F did I just read so early in the morning? He is absolutely vile. I know Jamaia spoke on the fact that their relationship was very and it's all they spoke about, but it seems so degrading to read that last message that it's good to be able to use someone. She spoke about how much she loved him, but reading that really shows he didn't love her and she was just a human S-doll to him. Poor girl. Yep, he used an autistic girl knowing damn well what he was doing. It seems that Addis Paul pushed Jamaia to such an extent and pushed her boundaries so far that a sexual act happened that went too far, resulting in Addis R-wording her. And afterwards, these were the messages that were exchanged, where Addis Paul asks Jamaia if she feels R-worded. So Anna feels broke, and Addis asks if someone feels R-worded. These two have lost their goddamn minds. Not, I'm sorry I did that, but I'm sorry you feel that way. Boy, STFU and get off the internet. But Jamaia, if you feel R-worded, please tell me. I do. What should we do? I'm sorry you feel that way. Jamaia, Addis Paul, I will never forgive you. Right now, this is my reality, covered with uncomfortable ECG cords to record the health of my heart. You have not only caused me severe mental torment, but physical pain. I once told you how stress affects my chronic illness, and you witnessed me in excruciating pain many times. Some episodes directly caused by you. The trauma you put me through has declined my overall health in more ways than I'd like to admit. On episode 3 of Michaela's podcast, she features a voice message from Jamaia. Jamaia talks about a trip she took to Japan with Addis and Anna, where she had a medical incident. Instead of helping her, Addis and Anna completely abandon her. They also become upset at her for having this medical incident. On the flight back from Japan, the airport staff become very concerned for Jamaia because Addis and Anna, the party that she's with, are acting very strange and distant from her.
We got back to Brisbane Airport. They just completely abandoned me. And when we got to security, the guy asked me if I was traveling by myself. And I said, no, I'm traveling with 2 other people. And he was like, oh, who? So I had to look around and find them and point to them. And so they took us to this closed off area, and they were questioning me and they were questioning Addis. And the whole time I was defending him. I was like, no, I just had a health thing in Japan and it was scary and I'm a bit shaken up. He didn't do anything to me. Everything's fine. But obviously the whole time Addis was yelling at me before and being really cruel to me. And they could see by Addis's demeanor that something had happened.
Jamaia also claimed that Addis threatened to self-harm during their arguments as well.
Hit me with the I'm gonna myself.
Michaela claimed that Addis tried to encourage Jamaia to do OF.
She jokingly said that she should start an OF because she was broke. He immediately called her saying he knows how to run one and can help her.
Trafficking, alleged. Am I the only one that thinks Anna's weird matchmaking services for Addis feel so criminal? Not only is she picking out her friends to her own brother, but they usually end up doing OFSW, which feels off. I also find the level of vulnerability exhibited by each of Addis's victims so sinister. After watching Jamaia's video, my body started vibrating. As a fellow autistic woman, we already have to make so many complicated compromises for neurotypical people. When it comes to sexual relationships, that pressure is amplified. He a child, Alice, a woman who was traumatized as a child, who ended up with BPD, Mick, and a neurodiverse disabled woman, Jamaia. All of these women's vulnerabilities were then weaponized against them when they had the strength to fight back. Anna Paul, you facilitated this abuse, and for that, you should be erased from the internet as you're a danger to women. Before I get into Addis's response, I want to firmly state that many abusers are masters at twisting the truth, even to themselves. In fact, many abusers claim to be victims and hold to this belief. He'll say, I know what I did was wrong. I just felt hurt. There are at least 6 payoffs for this statement. 1, it makes the abuser look like a victim to the other party. 2, he feels justified in his behavior because he believes he's a victim. 3, he saves face because after all, he's an injured person. 4, the truly injured party feels guilty, thus giving even more power to the perpetrator. 5, he builds sympathy from others. 6, by admitting that he did something wrong, he feels as if the wrong he did should no longer be held against him. I told you I was already sorry. Realize that the typical victims of abusive relationships stay in the relationship because they are conscientious. That is, they have a conscience. They feel sorry for people. They give people the benefit of the doubt. They're compassionate, understanding, and forgiving. All of these traits are awesome and healthy. However, these are the exact traits that are exploited in abusive relationships. On Instagram, Addis began his response by acknowledging the toxicity in his relationship with Michaela, but denying several of the allegations. Our relationship was unhealthy and destroyed both of our mental health. Some of the stories she has told are true. Most are absurdly exaggerated, and some are so twisted I'm in shock. My aim in posting isn't to say, look how great I am, or I was wonderful and she wasn't. I was awful and I know that. Addis claimed that when it came to the OF and his management of it, their roles were clearly defined. She would pose for photos or videos, and he managed the page, promoted the page on his socials, and handled messages. He argued that this arrangement was mutually agreed on as partners. Business partners or romantic partners? Because I'm curious, was there a contract in place? One that defined these roles and values? Were there any established boundaries in place? He also addressed whether or not he hacked into Michaela's account and stole money, claiming that he returned everything immediately when he was confronted. What a stand-up guy. Addis completely denied all of the SA allegations that Michaela made, claiming they were logistically impossible. I think some of the wording in this post is kind of interesting. Let me know if it's just me. Keeping in mind, a BBL requires removing fat from all the areas surrounding. The swelling and the pain were intense. Standing up was a big win for her at that point, let alone what she's accusing me of. That feels like a really weird way to say that sentence. Standing up was a big win for her. That's a big win for her, let alone what she's accusing me of. So are you saying that what she's accusing you of is a big win? Am I picking that apart too much? Michaela's final, larger TikTok response to all of the Paul's claims addressed a lot of their attempted deflected blame that they tried to push back onto Michaela. For example, in Anna Paul's 30-minute response video, she tried to claim that Michaela's a liar because there was a time that she lied about having abs from doing sit-ups and not from getting surgery. Michaela claimed that these clips were taken out of context and that she's addressed that in the past.
I also wanted to know, how did you get your abs? What did she say? Just do sit-ups. That's what she said. When in reality, she had a metal rod put into her stomach.
This was a video that was taken out of context. This was my video clearing it up, as you can see.
All I have to do is a few sit-ups and I'll have abs. People were taking it the complete wrong way. It's common knowledge that I have surgery.
She also pointed out that Anna Paul still has yet to address any of the allegations against Addis Paul. Her silence is very loud. She also addressed how Anna Paul has stolen various aspects of her own life.
You stole everything about me. All of my ideas, everything. You stole it all. Even the goddamn story about your upbringing, the homeless shelters needing food vouchers.
Lastly, Michaela provided more proof of how Addis Paul shot some of Anna Paul's OnlyFans content.
Addis takes my OF content. She seriously said that. She seriously said that.
Pay attention to the timestamps, the time, the photos at the bottom, the background. We've got Burberry slides in the background here. We've got a finger and we've got the slides in the bottom. We've got an individual with a bucket hat. We've got my shoes here. You can see all the photos at the bottom. Date and times. Oh my God, it's your brother in the same shoes, date and time, same bucket hat. Oh, but he doesn't take our OF content.
Anna herself has even admitted that Addis has taken her OnlyFans content at least once in text messages. The only OnlyFans thing Addis has ever taken of me was in Bali, of both of us, but that was like 2 years ago, and we never said who recorded that. Mick has allegedly posted on the Anna Paul Snark subreddit a few times about the allegations, and she's received some hate, so she allegedly posted a statement, also claiming that she's taking Addis to court. Mick here again. You're not all losers, but there are some. People are bullying me, so why would I keep going on and on about her? I'm taking her brother to court. I'm going to tell you guys what I told this person. Girl, they're saying on Reddit that you're only stopping because Anna threatened you and you got scared. I don't care what the losers are saying on Reddit. You can literally see in the same screenshot that I said she's not suing me for defamation because she can't. I'm going to the cops about Addis. There's no point of me posting. I've been posting every single day since January, and she's posting as normal, regardless of the effed up receipts I have shared. She doesn't care, she's moving on, so should I. Michaela posted a final statement on her Instagram story directed at Anna after the drama between the two women had reached a tipping point. Behind the scenes, it's been reported that both Michaela and Jamaia were going to the police with their evidence, but wanted to share with the public their information about Addis so that the public was aware, so that he doesn't harm other women, especially since we know time and time again it takes so long for justice to be brought to people who've been accused of these sorts of crimes. But maybe Michaela had felt that the focus on Anna Paul and the drama between Michaela and Anna had sort of distracted from that. So Michaela wrote on her Instagram story, at Anna Paul, I'm ready to forgive you for whatever BS went down in our friendship. In the grand scheme of things, a lot of it was petty talk that takes away from the giant real issue here. This happened between us years ago, and soon I will be a mother. My body is under extremities right now, and quite frankly, who give a F about eyes? Again, let's focus on the real issue. I spoke my truth and you know that. Whether you agree with my view on how things between us played out, I don't care. I came with receipts and you came with nothing. It's water under a bridge to me. You know your brother and the things he's capable of. You know what he's done to me, Alice, and Jamaia. Promoting your brother on the internet, knowing who he is what gets me. He's a convicted rapist, for crying out loud. We are hurt. Many people immediately thought that maybe Michaela was pregnant, which her fiance dispelled in a comment. I believe she was just referencing the health problems she's been dealing with lately due to her frequent UTIs and getting the care needed, which will ultimately help with her fertility. My personal interpretation of this statement, though I'm sure it could be interpreted in many ways, is that with so many women's alleged abuse allegations against Addis, the bigger picture here isn't Anna being a mean girl and possibly being fake behind the camera, though that is a fascinating and important story about how influencers manipulate their audience. Maybe a lot of that could be overlooked and forgiven if she distances herself from her brother, stands with the victims, says that what her brother did was wrong. If she, for once, was truly a girl's girl, like she claimed to be on camera, spreading real positivity instead of siding with her abusive brother. It wouldn't detract from all of the harm that Anna Paul has spread herself, but it would be a start in showing growth. It's clear that there's a lot of unhealthy dynamics happening within the Paul family that's permeated what they've posted online and affected the way Anna Paul interacts with her audience. But if those dynamics could change, it might mean there's a chance for Anna Paul to change as well. While it's hard to tell what's happening behind the scenes, Anna Paul has recently stopped featuring her brother in her content, virtually pretending as if he doesn't exist in her daily life and daily vlogs, kind of like she did with her animals. Yet she continues to not make any statements about her brother's allegations. Because so much public discourse has happened surrounding these allegations, that's extremely disappointing. When examining who exactly is to blame for all of the dynamics that have kind of allowed for all of this to happen, especially after Michaela's podcast, many viewers blame Addis and Anna's mother, Vildan, for their very strange family. I think the real issue in this situation is the mother. I really see Anna's mother as the embodiment of who her children have become, the babying Addis, Anna buying her whatever she wants. Whilst Anna and Addis are adults and bear responsibilities for their behavior in life, their actions scream, "Mama is controlling me." These two need trauma therapy.
Let's talk about Mama for a second. He knew behind that sinister smile was not a sweet lady. Imagine witnessing your son have a mental breakdown, threatened to kill himself in front of his girlfriend as a manipulation tactic to get her to stay, and doing nothing. A mother. As a Polynesian person where family is everything, I have never seen a family that close.
Michaela, the mom, is behind the entire facade. You've done amazing, but to really crack the foundation of this family, the mother needs to be in the hot seat. She's largely escaped the heat. She's the one controlling everyone. Think about it, Mick. She wouldn't let her husband have a relationship with his daughter. She's the one who told Anna to take care of her brother. Look the other way when he's throwing tantrums. She's seen with all of these other girls, them to become the newest victims. She is the one you need to go after harder. She's done well so far. Anna and Addis have taken the worst of the hits. Now put the pressure on her. Is it possible that many influencers are like this behind the scenes, putting up a fake facade, living very different lives in their real lives than they portray on camera? We just don't realize it due to parasocial relationships. But because the situation was brought to light, we're getting a look behind the curtain. I hope this makes everyone realize Anna Paul isn't the only one like this. All these influencers are the exact same. You see what they want you to see. Parasocial relationships are so unhealthy, and I truly hope this whole thing is another nail in the coffin of influencers. No matter how much these people tell you they love and care about you, it's always about money and attention for them. They don't care about you, they care about what you can give them and help them get. After Anna Paul's true nature was exposed to the public and all of her response videos didn't really seem to work, Anna tried to respond to the controversy by leaving Australia and partying at Coachella, acting like nothing ever happened and posting about her many misadventures on social media. To many, this felt incredibly tone deaf, as many people were talking about the harm her family had caused them, and she was laughing and smiling in the California sun at a music festival. Many people were also shocked to find out that Anna and Addis have a half-sister on their father's side. They actually have many half-siblings on their father's side, 5 I think to be exact. Michaela on episode 2 of her podcast detailed a story about the time when she reunited Anna and Addis with Sarah, their half-sibling.
I had learned they had this beautiful sibling that created content too. I wanted to follow her, so I did. It got to a point where, oh my god, we should meet up. She was just a really sweet girl and we wanted to keep seeing her again. We loved it.
When Vildan, Anna and Addis's mother, found out that they had met with Sarah, she was very upset.
She's standing in the corner. She's like, so how did this happen? Who made this thing? It was me. I said, I did. Ah, lovely. And I noticed Addis and Anna looked at each other while this was happening. It's like they almost had some agreement that was unspoken agreement. Oh, I wonder how Mama's gonna feel about this. Why? Why should they have a feeling about that?
This shows what may have been happening behind the scenes for years, that Vildan had a need for her children's constant attention. Anna and Addis's half-sister, Sarah, who lives in Sydney, broke her silence on the controversy with the Pauls and supported Michaela.
One thing I truly wanted to come on here and say is that I 100% stand with Michaela.
So, what is Anna Paul doing now? Now that so many of her family members have spoken out against this, and she's had so many chances to stand with the victims. Instead, Anna Paul has been posting about traveling to LA and hanging out with Australian influencer Harry Jowsey. So, she's really learned. I say sarcastically. You can see where her priorities are, and it's always about internet fame. While at the end of the day, because Anna Paul has such a large platform where she influences predominantly young women and young girls, I do truly hope that she changes, learns, and grows. That this incident is the tipping point in which she learns from her mistakes and becomes the positive influence that she pretends to be online. That being said, even speaking from my own experiences, when it comes to making content online, sometimes there can be a lot of outside pressures trying to constantly get you to sacrifice your morals for money. It's extremely challenging to navigate. Night night, baby. Mwah. I love you.
And I say love you too.
Okay, love you. There is a massive industry behind influencers. There are so many brands who predominantly are shifting the way that they sell through influencers in social media. And now individual people are having to navigate all of that in ways that they might not be capable or able to. And unfortunately, this means that the morally corruptible are winning out, which is why we need to be hyper vigilant and aware of this. And I guess that's why I'm trying to make this sort of content. Though even with my own content, content and the ways that I navigate this world, I find it incredibly challenging at times because all of us are also existing within society, having to survive, and it's rough out here. So that's all for today's video. Thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end. I know there was a lot of incredibly triggering topics. If you have any video suggestions, definitely post it in r/exploitation exposed, as that's where I'll be checking the most for topics related to social media exploitation, as well as the comments below. I've also been posting a lot more frequently on my second channel, Mad Is On, so if you're looking for something in between these longer deep dives, definitely check that out. I hope you're doing well in these incredibly stressful, tense-filled times. I mean, I don't even know what to say, mainly because I am scared. But if you're suffering, you're not alone, and I hope you're doing what you need to take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Stay well until then. Bye.